Hey, welcome to Fundiendo Neuronas. My name is Paula Matias, and this is a short live hash slash video because, as I always say, I hate editing. I don't have the time for it. And today we will be talking about several topics. To begin with the hashtag, my reaction to the hashtag don't come to the R. You know what? Don't go to the R if you don't like the country, if you're crazy, and if you don't have brains to think for yourself. Don't go. You don't have to go to the R. You don't have to go. We only want people that use their brain cells. Okay? Okay? Thank you. Uepa, Cristina. Yo te iba a decir madrina, y yo, ¿por qué yo te digo a ti madrina cuando tú estás aquí y no cuando yo hablo contigo por WhatsApp? That's crazy, you know? So today's topic is about everything. To begin with, I'm inspired, Morena, Smoothie, bienvenidas, on the Don't Come to the R hashtag. The thing was inspired by the fact that the LGBT alphabet, whatever agenda, movement, group in the Dominican Republic is still very mad about the fact that they feel they were left behind, they were oppressed again, they were excluded from protection. What happened? There is a new penal code in the Dominican Republic that erased when it came for the article for non-discrimination, it erased the word orientación sexual, oh my gosh, sexual orientation and sexual preferences. Instead, it included the word gender. They did a Belgian compromise there. I'm telling you, because gender was gender. So they said, like, you cannot be discriminated due to color, race, religion, all that stuff, gender, sex, blah, blah, blah. But they did not include, or they erased sexual orientation and sexual discrimination. That's a problem. That's a problem. And also, in the first, how do you say that in English? The prefix, they said that the person who gives you a service cannot be kind of sued if he kind of refuses on the basis of his religion or moral or moral, Dios mío, I forgot it, or or morality because it doesn't suit his moralities or the institution of his company. What does it mean? That a baker, that famous case in the U.S., that religious baker, can refuse to make a cake with a same-sex couple on it. Me, as someone, not me personally, but if someone rejects the non-binary, whatever binary, gender, thousand sexes view, can refuse to give you a service. He can refuse to offer you a job because, and that person, it will not be sued. So there was a compromise there. Like, you cannot discriminate, but at the same time, if it opposes my views, my religion, my whatever, you cannot sue me. So there was a balance there. And it makes sense, guys, because, for example, here in Belgium or in the whole Europe, you cannot force a Muslim to work at the meat company where there is pork. You cannot, because you have you have the true human rights that are protection of the family, your private ownership of your things, religion, and conviction. That's the first one. That's a human right. I'm Muslim, I'm Jewish, I'm whatever. Those are my principles, my values, and my convictions. And then you have the Dominican Constitution, Article 39 stipulates, I will read it in Spanish. El artículo 39 de la Constitución Dominicana, título 3, de los derechos, garantías y deberes fundamentales. Capítulo 1 de los derechos fundamentales, sección 1 de los derechos civiles y políticos. Sorry, I will paraphrase this in English, but in Spanish. Artículo 39, derecho a la igualdad. Todas las personas nacen libres e iguales ante la ley. Ante la ley. Reciben la misma protección y trato de las instituciones, autoridades y demás personas y gozan de los mismos derechos, libertades y oportunidades sin ninguna discriminación por razones de género, 300 genders, género, color, edad, discapacidad, nacionalidad, vínculos familiares, lengua, religión, opinión política o filosófica, condición social o personal. En consecuencia, la República Dominicana condena todo privilegio y situación que tienda a quebrantar la igualdad, de las dominicanas y los dominicanos, entre quienes no debe existir otras diferencias que las que resulten de sus talentos y de sus virtudes. Ninguna entidad de la República Dominicana puede considerar títulos de nobleza ni distinciones hereditarias. No, para nosotros. El Estado debe promover las condiciones jurídicas y administrativas para que la igualdad sea real y efectiva y adoptará medidas para prevenir y combatir la discriminación, la marginalidad, la vulnerabilidad y la exclusión. La mujer y el hombre son iguales ante la ley. I repeat, men and women are equal, above, in law, diablo, se me olvidó todo. La mujer y el hombre son iguales ante la ley. Se prohíbe cualquier acto que tenga como objetivo o resultado menoscabar o anular el reconocimiento, goce o ejercicio en condiciones de igualdad de los derechos fundamentales de mujeres y hombres. Se promoverán las medidas necesarias para garantizar la erradicación de las desigualdades y la discriminación de género. El Estado debe promover y garantizar la participación equilibrada de mujeres y hombres en las candidaturas a los cargos de elección popular para las instancias de dirección en el ámbito político, la administración de justicia, en los organismos de control del Estado, el Estado no puede discriminar. Pero en fin, el asunto es, hey, princesa, pero mira, están ahí. Pero mira, Rancho y Flor de Oro estaban cuando estaba backstage. Yo no sé por qué se estaba. Hey, princess. So, la Constitución ya nos protege. Ahí es hombre y mujer. Y género, pues son hasta género ahí. Hombre, pero seguro por el asunto de eso de género, que las mujeres, que no sé qué. Somos iguales ante la ley. Oh, in Spanish, English. Diablo, estoy cruzada. So, why do you have to put that extra category there? Category. Oh, yes. Why do you have to be explicit when it comes to your sexuality or whatever? Why? You already have genders. Aren't you the one, the alphabet mafia, who's always saying like, oh, yes, no, I'm pansexual, asexual, el diablo sexual, tu madrina sexual, non-binary, whatever, binary, que el diablo. Aren't you the one that doesn't say the, like the biological thing? Wait, I'm not a woman, but I'm lesbian. Like, so illogical. It's really too hard for anyone to understand. So why? There was a compromise. You already got gender. Why does that have to be there? Everybody is protected, men and women. You are there. But the thing is, you know what angers me the most? I had to go to the point. It's the fact that law that's not even a law yet. It was approved by the House. And in the, in American terms, it would be the House, la Cámara de Diputados. So there are 3 stages. It was accepted, approved by the Cámara de Diputados, which is the House. And then it goes now to the Senate. The Senate has to approve. And then it goes to the President of the Dominican Republic. So it's not a law yet. It's not a law. It's not a law yet. And people are making that blah, blah, blah. Horacio, diablo, se me olvidó el nombre de nuevo. José Horacio. You know, the ultra-leftist who is instrumentalizing all those people. He's the ultra left girls and the queers and all that stuff. And he's a lawyer. He's a lawyer. He knows very damn well how that works. But of course, they have to lie to you. They have to be, it's just buscando sonido. They want to be in the spotlight. That's the thing. That's politics. They want to be relevant. They want to confuse you, to distract you. That's the thing. It's not even a law. Things can change. And if the president doesn't accept, it goes back. 3 stages. People are protected. It's just like they're not giving extra privileges to a certain group. No, it's like you're included. Why? Okay, next time the one fat people need to be included. I will be included. People with an afro, there. People with 12 fingers. People with, elder people will. Come on, everyone. It's this law can be interpreted in sensu lato. It's like wide. You cannot be like putting like everything there. No, come on, no discrimination. So men with long hair, women that don't shave. Coño, they're being so ridiculous. Come on, you know how that kind of things work. It's by lobby, by NGOs that are paid. They're funded, to make that kind of things, to invent a problem where there is not a problem. Yes, because if the Dominican Republic is really a country that truly discriminates gay people, I don't say they don't discriminate because they're always like, left, el pájaro ese, no sé qué. Yes. And if you don't come from a certain social class, again, classism, because the middle class or the rich gay man, there is no problem with that. That's the truth. The issues exist. They have their life, there is no problem. But when you're poor, the problem there in that country is when you're poor, you're no one. But at the same time, is that country so anti-gay when you have people like Chacata, La Kisti, La Ñata, and all those people being like influencers, where you have everywhere las mujeres modernas. That's even a thing. Las mujeres modernas. Come on. Like, yeah, there is a systemic persecution and oppression of LGBT, trans, whatever. I'm like, come on. Anytime you hear things like this narrative, like oppression and patriarcado, patriarchy, whatever society, oppression, colonial, and construct and we have to disconstruct to construct colonialism, white supremacy, and all this stuff. It's always the same narrative. It's always the same distraction. It's always the same thing. It's a copy paste of the same. And what they aim is to separate us. That's basic political science. You have to create groups and put them against each other. That's basic political science. But at the same time, it's so sad, like a small country like us. And you're going to say, don't come to the DR. Están cortando su falda y enseñando su nalga. That's horrible. You're working against your own interests. One of the major sources of income of the Dominican Republic is tourism. So because your little interest was not catered, de que se joda República Dominicana. So F the DR. So you don't care about what happens to the DR. We need those tourists, not only for the big hotel owners, but the meat those tourists eat, those fruits they eat are Dominican. They come from Dominican soil. Millions of Dominicans live indirectly from tourism. Not only the animators in Bávaro and Punta Cana. No, the rum they drink, the tobacco el cigarro, el tobacco they buy, the excursions they do. Coñazo, think of it. It's like you're saying you're those people. I'm convinced they hate their being Dominican. They have this inferiority complex. Yes, they wanted to be a North American or something. I don't know. They have the inferiority complex. They hate being Dominican because talking like that about your own country, harming your own economy. You're harming you. It's like saying, fire my dad, fire my mom from their job. Don't come to my mom's restaurants. Don't come to my mom's business. She's a bee. She doesn't acknowledge the fact that, or she doesn't want to explicitly say that I'm gay or whatever. Don't go to her restaurant. Don't go to her business. Don't go to her a hair salon. She's a bee, and my father is, he's whatever. Eso da vergüenza. Eso da pena. Yeah, they find every little reason to the tour to turn dollars. Of course. And don't be surprised if in a couple of weeks or months, other islands will use that kind of things. But because every time there is something against the Dominican Republic, our competition uses that a lot. Like last year, it was, I guess, the Mexican government, or in Cancun, they were sponsoring campaigns anti-Dominican Republic. I understand that because that's capitalism. It's money, it's not only people, but they're because we are the most popular destination of the Caribbean. That's it. And we just continue growing. That's amazing. Colombia no está dando pela, pero still, Yeah, that's my true supporting as well. Yeah, the non-Dominican allies are also welcome. Yes, yeah, exactly. They're forcing their ideologies and all that stuff. I have not, and you know what angers me sometimes is the fact that I do not know in real life one person that is like that. I have friends and colleagues, co-workers, whatever, who are gay, but they're just regular people like you and me. They condone that. They hate that. They hate all that stuff. Sometimes they're even more conservative than I am. They're like, I have none of my gay friends has ever been to the gay parade every year in May in Brussels. None of them. They hate that. They say that's the worst stereotype that you can see. They hate that. I don't know one lesbian or gay person that thinks like that acts like that. It's always like a very small, extreme minority, but they speak for everyone. The same with with the Muslim minorities here in Europe. Only a small percentage is crazy and extremist. The majority of people are just, fine. They have their own cultural and religious values, but there's just people like you and me. That small minority. Whoa, man. The crazy minority is what I mean. So yes, we have like a huge amount of tourists, and a lot of celebrities come. And now we will have, not now, for the last, I guess, 4 years, there have been a lot of legal developments in order for big film producers to shot to make their movies in the Dominican Republic. So those Vin Diesel movies, those Too Fast and Too Furious kind of movies, but also other movies. Wahlberg was there, lastly, J-Lo, who else? I don't know. So they pay less taxes. It's cheaper for them. But they also have like a great infrastructure. Oh, there was a film also with Sandra Bullock that she was filming there a couple of weeks ago. So it's growing, the movie industry. So it's nice. They have nice locations, blah, blah, blah. So, yes, but merci, princess, la princess, my fro. So again, for example, that I know, like, there is a part of that of the new penal code that that says, like, you cannot like Dios mío, ¿cómo lo digo? It's like you cannot sue them if they don't offer you a kind of service. But they're not obliged, or no company is obliged to accept me with my fro. There is no right to have a job. They have the right to offer you a job. You don't have the right to that job. That's hard, but that's the truth. That's not discrimination. That's right. Their right for election. If they don't like you, they will not hire you. If they don't like your hair, they will not hire you. You are the one that wants to work there. So you have to adjust yourself to their job, their vision, their mission, and their culture, their corporate culture. That is the way it is. If you don't like it, you make your own. Or you work at a company that meets all those factors. That's a real world. Stop dreaming. Those people are telling you lies. Just like Jose Horacio, he knows very well that there is no new law. It's the first stage. It was approved at the first stage. And still, he made that noise. That's all what they do. They like to distract us and all that stuff. Madre mia. So, anyways, yeah, I said. But anyways, anytime you hear that gender, blah blah blah, and colonization, it's the same agenda. It's the same people. They're always the same rhetoric. Always the same organization. It's always the same thing. The same narrative. It's always the same. So please don't fall for them. And I'm telling you, not today. In 20 years, the leaders, they always make money. They make money. They lie to you. They make you believe you're oppressed. They take advantage of people's insecurities, complexes, and even mental and emotional health. I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist, whatever, mental health specialist, but some things are very obvious, and they take advantage of that. The majority of those girls, come on, are like super depressed. They need help, but they explode those, those emptiness they have. Those girls need therapy, but they explode that fragility of those girls. So they always operated the same way. They create a problem that is not even urgent or a priority. Dominicans have all the priorities. They have the priority of increasing jobs opportunities, or increasing the opportunity to people, or for people develop their own business, increase the space or the area where technology and science could be developed. So actually, in an overall educational, betterment of our educational system in all senses, from how driving at the road, like driving, people don't know how to drive, and in school, science, math, technology. So education, health, that your child doesn't die from diarrhea or something at the public hospital. We need excellent public health hospitals. You have a couple of ones in the big cities, but at the rural areas, you have to drive 2 or 3 hours to go to a regular restaurant hospital. And that in many private hospitals, they don't even accept you if you don't pay it first. That's a problem. Corruption, that's a problem. So the lack of a well-functioning health system, that's a priority. The lack of a well-functioning educational system, that's a priority. And the most, actually, not even the job opportunity, no, it goes together with job opportunity, security, the ever-increasing robbers. People are robbing. Cyber security, that's also a priority. So security, overall security, jobs, entrepreneurship, education, and that englobes everything from all, everything, university, science, and all that stuff, but also in school, kindergarten, languages, everything. And health. Those are our priorities. But like including sexual orientation in a damn law? No, man, that's not. Come on, those things are well for here, Europe or the United States. We have real problems. Those people are operating from their place of privilege, because that's also a thing. The majority of those people who talk that kind of BS in the Dominican Republic belong to the middle higher class. Yes, and they search some from those hippie, depressed girls, and they instrumentalize them. And then the leaders, they work for the state. They're going to earn the $5,000-$6,000 with a car and all that stuff. And others are paid. Their NGOs they're paid by funds. But those other sheiks don't know that, don't see that. It's so damn obvious. Pero el diablo. Exactly. Godzilla, I'm extremely sensitive for customer service. If I don't feel that you serve me well, you don't see me anymore. I don't give you a tip and all that stuff. I'm very sensitive for that. If I feel anywhere I go that I'm not treated well, it's my money. Adios. So, epa, flor de oro. Bienvenida, mis pilares. So that's the thing. So you think the same happened with us with las tres causales? Like 3 exceptions to abort. I remember it was like, if the life of the mother is in danger. Come on, all doctors do that. If it's like obvious. It's like even an unwritten rule. No, but actually it exists in the penal code, but at the same time, all doctors want to save both lives. But if the life of the child, the unborn baby, is not viable, you will save the mother's life. They're not even penalized for that. So that's like, what are they arguing about? If the child was raped, I understand that totally. And if the unborn child is, has, could be like, like very handicapped, that kind of stuff. Okay. That children in Germany and here in Europe with the syndrome of Down are less and less being born because they're being aborted. I want to be clear, I am pro-abortion without las tres causales. A mí me importa un comino que usted tenga su muchacho o no. I don't give an F, for real. I am pro-abortion. It's your child, not mine. I'm not going to give you 1 penny for you to raise your child. I don't have that. As long as you don't abort it after, like, I don't know, like 2 months or something, when there is really a baby, a fetus, I think that's very cruel. But if you do it or don't, I don't give an F. I'm pro-abortion. It's your business. I live and let others live. I don't give an F. I'm pro-choice. You do you. You feed your child, not me. You bring him to school, not me. So if you can have it, have it. If you can have it for whatever reason, I don't care. You do with your life what you want. And that happens in the Dominican Republic. Even if there is not a law that says abortion is allowed, we all know that happens there. I guess if you were born and raised in the Dominican Republic, you at least know one friend of yours who did an abortion. And they call it legrado. Legrado is actually this thing when a child is dead in your belly as a pregnant woman, and they take it out. So that exists. But smoothie, there is one thing with your body, your choice. That's a narrative that they are applying. Yes, your body, your choice. It's not about women's rights. That they make you think that it's about your women's rights. No, man, that's an agenda. We're too much people nowadays. They're focusing on the wrong problems. Instead of focusing on, on a proper sexual education, and beforehand, protect those girls because they're going to have sexual relationships. Let's be clear about that. No, they talk about abortion. And also, there is one thing that I know because I have friends, and mother of some friends, and I don't remember the name, but there is this trauma that many ladies who have had an abortion have, and this years after they have like, oh my gosh, I committed a crime. Oh, my child would be this age. Oh, my child would be this. Oh, my child, that it happens. It's true. It's true. It's true because people near, close to me have had that experience, and I know. And that's like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I will never have, I don't ever want to have that. So, but the thing is, all these pro-choice, my body, that's BS. It's just a narrative. It's just, something that sounds very empowering and all that stuff. But they're not caring about you or the child. It's just we're too much people nowadays. That's actually a birth control mechanism. The same happens in China. China had too much people, so only one born child. The global population is growing too much. So they need something. And that's the truth. Their resources in 50 years won't be enough. So they have to see like how can we, keep this down. They've been trying to do that in Africa for ages. For ages, they've been trying to keep the birth rates down in Africa, and it won't work. So that, your body, that's BS. No, I am pro-choice, but I mean, like, I know the manipulation of those agendas. They don't care about you, nor about the child. And I also agree, if someone has been raped, damn, I wouldn't. But I know, not private, but I know there are people that have been through things and they have kept their child. Oh my gosh, I don't know how they did it, but and love their child. So to me, I admire those people. I wouldn't do. I don't think so. No. So you do with your body what you want, but those things are not like a priority. If you don't want to have a child in the Dominican Republic, you know very well where to go. That's not a priority. And also, all this, this infant marriage thing. It's the same thing. You create a problem out of nothing. Infants marriage is not existent in the Dominican Republic. We're not Afghanistan or Pakistan. That does not exist. That's not true. What does exist in the Dominican Republic, one, we don't really marry a lot. We use our we live together a lot because culturally it's almost the same. Mi marido, mi mujer. It's the same. We view that as the same. However, being married gives you a higher status. Like, you have your civil marriage gives you status. Married at the church gives you higher status, especially if it's a Catholic church. So, but living together with the father of your children or with someone, we view that as the same culturally. So, actually, in Dominican Campos, in the rural area, there is this concept that the name is casarse por la ventana, and the thing is, you will agree with your girlfriend or boyfriend, like I'm fetching you at 11 o'clock, have your things together, so I can get you, and you're going to be my wife. And 2 weeks after, 18 days after, they return home and they ask for pardon and all that stuff, and they would kill a chivo, and there is a party. So that's another pushing section on kids. Yes, come on, all those things. That's I don't even know what to think about that. I just reject that kind of content when I see it on social media because that's crazy. Sometimes I think this must be fake. It's impossible. It's impossible to create all the crazy things that I'm seeing nowadays. That's poor children. We will have to ask all our Jewish and Muslim friends that grew up here in the West, how they did protect their children, or how they were able to keep their faith, and give and pass their faith and culture to their children. Because for us it's easier because we live in the West, but we're Christians. So those values, the basics are there, but they come from, not the Jewish, but the Muslim ones come from a totally different background. So I think we have to ask them, how did they do it? How did you do it? Can you give me some tips? Because our children will listen a lot of BS, and in order to protect them, we have to at home, instill them a lot of values, a lot of the values that we want to give them. We have to make them strong humans before they go to school, before they go they step out of the house. So from a small age, we have to instill those values in them. I don't even know. Yes, theme 10. Population control is a form of totally. They're re-engineering the society, of course. We're too much people. And they'll have us fighting with each other. So that la tres causales, they make an artificial problem because, okay, it's not in the law, but what you have to do when you have to do it, if you want to do it. And infant marriage. All those teenage girls in the Dominican Republic, if you grew up there, you were born and grew up there, you know very well that from in the barrios and los campos, girls ages 13 to 17 years old, they escape. But they don't marry old guys. They escape with someone of their age. They escape and they marry. I can give you tons of names of my own street. And I'm not even talking about my neighborhood. My own street. They ran away. They're not married. They're not given to an old man. That's not truth. They choose for it. But we have a cultural problem. That's true. That when they do it, it's like, okay, you're not welcome here anymore. Some parents do it because I know Mecho, who lives now in Spain, Mercedes Mecho, a nurse that saved my sister's lives, by the way. Her oldest daughter was 13 years old and she ran away twice. And the second time she ran away, I was on vacation in the Dominican Republic. She ran away and there were a group. I was like, what the heck is this drama? Check. Back home. And actually, that's a big scandal because you as a parent, you're not supposed to do that. Because she decided to go away to marry, de casarse. But her mother knew better. She's like, no, mi hija no se va a casar. Mi hija no va a tener una vida miserable. Se casan, después tiene un hijo. ¿Quién? No. She's coming back home twice. So we had that cultural problem. Like, se fue. So those girls are not being married off. That's not truth. And that's not true. That's a conversation I wanted to have with Afro-Latinx, Paola, because that's not truth. One of my best friends from childhood, Julie, al frente de mi casa, I'm 1 month older than her. She ran away when she was 14 years old. I can give you thousands of names. My sisters, the oldest sister, were married. Salieron vestidas de novia and all that stuff. And that kind of things, especially in the 90s, that gave you like your family like, wow, se casó. That was like, wow. And she did not run away. My sister did not run away. They were married. Not pregnant in the house or ran away and got pregnant. No, I can give you, la hermana de la yo. Dios mío. Titio, Maciel, Naisa. Friends, mis amigas, la quiero. ¿Quién más? Lian. Pamela tenía 18, ya 19. She didn't run away, but she left home when she was pregnant. Okay. I can give you thousands of names. Carla. Diablo, si ven a terminar, pero la verdad. Díganme. So, yeah. That's another again, diablo, vuelvo a lo mismo. Estoy crucé, cansada que estoy. So they manufacture problems. They're not a priority. They made this big fuss. They ask for funds. They get funds. They form an NGO. They form a lobby group. Blah blah blah, and they're fighting for the non-existing problem priority, and they get their money. And they make you believe that that's a priority when it's not, that you're being oppressed. No, mi amor, no. You're being used for their gain, for their capitalistic game. They understood the game. I'm not even blaming the game, the player. It's a game. So. That is the way it is. So. Bueno, mi gente, ya los aburrí. Enough con este tema tan aburrido y tan pesado como siempre. So, nada, hasta la próxima. No sé qué tema hablar la próxima vez porque ya estos temas me tienen harta. Siempre una vaina. Siempre in the distraction y nunca. En fin. ¿Quiénes son los que están ahí? Esas cuatro. No, porque Bloodmoon no está. So, who's there, actually? ¿Cuáles son las cuatro que están ahí? Estoy curiosa. Digamos, 41 minutos ya. Están ahí. Ay, Cristina, están ahí. Yeah, estoy cansada. So, anyway, yo creo que yo hice mis apuntes, pero imagínate, no los seguí. Ay, no. Estoy en eso. Sí, mira, ese punto sí es importante. Otra cosa, lo del, hay otro, I didn't know. Where's movie? ¿Cuál? Yo no voy a película, yo voy a acostarme. So, another manufactured problem is inclusive language. Todos iguales, no sé qué diablo, because language is, yeah, I'm so tired, totally. Because language is oppressive, because we speak a gendered language. That's how our language is. Point. It's not oppressing you. That's also another agenda. Create a problem of nowhere. You can't. Language is something vibrant, vivant, that lives and that evolves constantly. And that's how language have been developing through years. Everybody, like all people change language, not policies or politics. They do not change languages. You cannot impose a change on language. It's the people who change that. So that inclusive language with Latinx or Latinx or Latine or whatever, that's again an ideology, not a real problem, not a change. It's not that people began to speak like that. No. So, and what makes me laugh sometimes, or every time I see that kind of problem, is we're losing so much time in this distraction. While in Russia, in Iran, in India, in China, they're working so hard on technology, on science. They're truly putting their mind and their focus on important things like science and education. And in 10 years, you will see. And in 20 years, you will see that those social justice warriors who are focusing on non-important things, they will be broke. They will be depressed. Some of them will commit suicide. Yes, write it down today, the 2nd of July. They will be broke. If they don't change, they will still be broke. They will still be blaming all the things that they blame now and that they will invent, the Russian Olympics is because of this and this and this and that. They will be broke, depressed if they still live. And the leaders of those movements will be rich. Like, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. How come I knew, even in the Dominican Republic, was Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, and not other Black Americans intellectual leaders? How come? How come? No, eso es. I'll go troll them after this. Proto is my bestie. Yeah. But he stopped sending me his links. I think the last time we had like an Instagram discussion again. So he's so emotional. He truly loves me. He's in love with me. I'm telling you. Brotep is in love with me. Fire Complex está ahí at the stream. ¿Qué lo pensó?
Fried chicken. Yo, yeah, so I'm gonna do a live on this too.
Here. Ay, pero mi Coca-Cola no me la bebí de que para que me despertara. Continúa, Fire.
Nah, estamos en inglés o en español aquí.
En todo, lo que sea. Un sancocho, como siempre.
Un sancocho. Now, yeah, like people say, don't come to DR because why? Because they don't want to make it as soft and bitchy like America. You know, they because. Oh man, because in America, everyone wants something to complain about, and everyone has to be pleased and accommodated, you know.
Yeah.
Y en República no cogen esa, ¿tú me entiendes? Y pa estar like, dealing con vagamundería, eso es vagamundería. De que, oye, porque soy pájaro y la gente me tiene que respetar. Bueno, si es pájaro, la gente te van a respetar si tú eres una persona respetable. ¿Tú me entiendes? You know, si eres homosexual, si eres mujer, si eres hombre, you know, you get treated the way you let people treat you or the way you present yourself. You know, in DR, that's always been the motto. Tú sabes, en República Dominicana, allá hay respeto y la gente le importa de su imagen y cosas así. Y aunque tú seas diferente, algo fuera de lo normal, la gente como quiera te van a tratar como un humano, ser humano.
Claro que sí.
Entonces, si no quieren ir para DR, no vayan.
No vayan, coñazo, no lo necesitamos. Tenemos fila de europeos, que son los que van allá a gastar. No necesitamos americanos. Don't go, Americans, please.
Don't come. We don't want y'all over there.
Yeah.
No. Y'all gonna mess us up anyways. Don't go.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need you. Don't come. We're not going to change it. If you don't like our services, go to Jamaica. Go to Haiti. Go to Haiti. It's next to us. Shoot, go there. Don't complain so much.
Go to another island, right? Don't go to us.
Yeah, I'm a isla. No vamos a morir ya. Are we going to die? Come to us. No. Don't come, coñazo. Yeah.
Because there's plenty of people that want to go.
We have enough Europeans. Los europeos no le dan mente pesada. No lo que van a su playa y ya. They don't go to the politics and all the stuff. They're going to enjoy the sea, the palm tree, the sun, and all this. So they don't care about the world, about the rest. They're like, I don't give an act.
Congratulations to Dominicans doing that. The government doing that. We're not going to treat no group special.
Exactly.
I like that.
That is discrimination. That is discrimination. Creating privileges. That is discrimination. And you know what? The thing is, like, I discovered today actually that it was approved by la Cámara de Diputados. Not even by the Congress. It was in the first stage, not even the second or the third stage. Diablo, they're always creating something to be in the spotlight. Para crear bulla. No sé qué, blah, blah, blah. I would have understood that if the person who did that was like, like this new political kind of people in the DR who are like sportsmen, singers, dancers, that kind of people. But a lawyer who knows very well how that works. You see there, coñazo, que de maldad que lo hacen. Un abogado sabe bien how that works. And he's, actually, as a millennial, ay, me indigna. You know that. So he's doing anything, sonido. And it's like relevant all this stuff. They're using people, ignorance. So diablo, man. So, and the thing is, like, they are included in the Constitution. Man, women, everybody's protected. Not they cannot be discriminated. And in the new penal codes, it's just like the word sexual orientation is gone. It's erased. So, anyways, and finally, yes, and this actually was a compromise because it's true that they erased that word, but those politics come from the U.S. actually, or more the globalist agenda, all that stuff, because it is also very, very obvious. Those are not the preoccupations of the Dominican people. Ay, no, radical latino, no estoy. Radical, no, yo no estoy en ti, yo no estoy en.
That's true. That's true.
Those are not even Dominican priorities.
Right.
Esa preocupación no viene de las entrañas del pueblo dominicano. El pueblo dominicano no piensa en eso because it's still fighting for, for basic needs, for basic human rights, actually. Not even that. That's privilege. That shit is privilege. What's crying about the most or the middle higher class, the middle class, higher middle class. That kind of, do you really think the Dominicans are thinking about inclusive language? Is that a priority for the Dominican people? Inclusive language. Coñazo, no me lo hagan. So, yeah. Gigi, DR is based. Exactly, totalmente. Gigi, you can join the panel. Tengo una duda de quién es Gigi. Ese nombre me suena. No sé. Gigi, me suena ese nombre. ¿Tú estás en los lives de quién? ¿De Macho? No sé, Gigi me suena. Fue Lolita. So, join the panel if you can. Fight the fuita. So, those complaints do not come from the Dominican Republic. Inclusive language, infant marriage, all these LGBT things y las tres causales. No lo son. Porque antes tú pensé en eso, tú estás pensando, diablo, ¿cómo voy a pagar yo esta renta este mes? DH, no me alcanzan. Oh my gosh, la canasta familiar básica cuesta 35,000 pesos y yo lo que gano son 15,000. En serio. Yo voy a estar pensando en ponerme las uñas acrílicas si yo no sé cómo pagar la renta de mi casa. Por favor, por stages. Yo voy a estar pensando en comprarme un Mercedes cuando yo todavía no me puedo comprar un motor. Eso es lógica. Music only accounts. Thank you, Gigi, for loving my stream. Streams. Gigi joined. Yo he visto ese nombre, Gigi, pero no te sé. Dominican Renaissance, por ahí creo, ¿no? Yo he visto, yo te conozco, te he visto. Ese Gigi R me dice algo. Diandre.
Hello?
Dime fire, continue. Rainy day. Ya está Pacheco.
Yeah, it's been raining because it was a heat wave. Like, I don't know about other areas, but I know in the northeast region, it was heat wave. De todo lo que es New York, Boston, Connecticut, Jersey. It was like hot as hell for 3 days. Y empezando ayer empezó con la llovedera. So,
Radical parece un niño. Utilizó mi voz sin permiso. Le va a tener que mandar un strike. Qué niño. Qué muchacho este. Bueno, que la use. Espero que le encante mi voz dulce. Oh my God. Anyways, también Romo y Macho. All right. So, ¿tienes otra cosa más que agregar, señor Fight del Kentucky?
No, eso fue lo único que dije. La gente estaban, they're gonna ban DR. Yeah, they tried to do that before. It
Blackmail
didn't
us.
work. They always try. First, it was the because they were deporting people, sending people off to Haiti. That was one reason. They tried first because of that. Then they tried it because of all these people are dying in Dominican resorts. Remember when it was propaganda, and
Sí.
now they're trying to do this. Now this is another reason to ban DR.
They're always blackmailing us with the thing with the Haitian deportation, deportación del mundo. That's the most stupid deportation ever because it's like cuando tú estás trapeando con la llave afuera. ¿Tú te has puesto a trapear alguna vez? El que se le ha dañado algún día la lavadora y su marido no está por ahí. ¿Cómo hago esto? Que está saliendo agua. Tú estás trapeando con esa agua saliendo. It's like, it makes no sense. Because how can they make some...
Yeah. Okay.
You know? But the border is porous. The border is actually open. They describe their own Dominican people with the border thing. Okay, they deported some people, but they come back. And those los guardias, if you give them money, they don't deport you. That's a business. That's corruption. That's the thing. We have so many priorities, so many things to focus on, like education, health, technology, entrepreneurship, industrialization. Coñazo. Tenemos que copiar un ching a Israel. Queremos judíos de nuevo. Yo quiero judíos. Yo quiero que vayan allá 5,000 judíos para que arreglen un eso. Yeah, because, señores, vamos a pensar una vaina lógica. I know it's unpopular, but that's the truth. Why do you think that Canada, a country that is in need of immigrants, they're always looking for immigrants, but they have their targets, they have their type, they have like a job description for immigrants, because the type of immigrants that you request for your country are the ones who are going to change your country. They want engineers, they want some kind of plumbers, they want some kind of people. Why? Because they need them to develop their industrialization and their economy. We're not going to need people with no education, people that cannot do anything unless some hand jobs that they don't need at this moment. Coñazo.
Yeah.
It's like a business. Not just all corporations, are like a business. Which kind of workers are you going to hire? The ones that you need to develop your vision, the vision of your company. Coñazo, eso es. No feelings about it. Espérate. Ponte a hablar.
No, I'm not gonna talk a lot because I'm gonna go live at 8:30.
No, un minutico, que tengo que hacer algo, por favor. Un minuto,
Okay.
negro, por favor.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like with everything that she was saying, I agree. I agree with a lot of what Paola says. Yeah, and I like the fact that Dominican Republic is doing that. We don't care who calls Dominicans racist or homophobic or we're not gonna go to the country. Then don't go. Dominican Republic tourism has always been thriving. Even after the murders, the alcohol situation that was going on, after we get called racist, after all these allegations, Dominicans still are able to thrive in tourism and everything. Even though we're still a third world country, but people are always gonna go visit. People are not gonna stop visiting DR. They love DR.
And they love
yeah,
us.
So yeah. Yeah, but I'm not gonna speak too long because I'm gonna go live at 8:30, and I know people get mad because I'm always late because I gotta go work out. I'm gonna go get my workout in real quick.
All right.
Yeah,
Facts
so
over feelings, guys. Facts over feelings.
yeah, I like that. I like
Get
that one.
yours, get yours. And Viva Bella Cristina. Facts over feelings.
Extina, do you have tank tops? Do you have
Ay,
like
que no lucir la mollera.
tengo que enseñar los músculos?
¿Eh?
Tengo que enseñarlo obligatorio.
Espera ahí.
Y tengo una sorpresa para ustedes. Yo quiero. You have tank tops, the one that says de lo mío. I like the one that says de lo mío.
Ah, cool. Nice.
A mí me gusta el de lo mío.
Okay,
But
señora.
I like that one. Yeah, facts over. Yo, so like I said, I got a surprise for you, Paula. I have a surprise for all of y'all, man. Real soon. So yeah, stay tuned. Real soon. Yep, it's gonna be a great surprise. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys stay tuned. Pero está bien, Paula, te voy a dejar.
Gracias por joining me, Fighter Kentucky.
All right. Fried chicken.
All right, chicken. Ok. El diablo, 1 hora ya. Señores, bueno, vamos a dejar esta vaina aquí. Ya hablamos mucho. Yo tenía que tomarme mi Coca-Cola primero. Pues mira ya, ahora tengo más energía. So, ¿quién te dijo? Smoothie, esta vaina lo imprimen donde quiera. Esto no lo imprimen muy lejos de mi casa. Yo creo que it depends of the country. If you're like here in Belgium, this was printed in Belgium. Actually, I thought it came from near, but not from all the US. They are organic contents, Stanley Stella. They were printed in 1040 Brussels. That's actually where I went to college. That's 15 minutes from here, that direction. So it's like, I was like, what? This was, no, it was printed in the Netherlands because it came from the Netherlands. I don't even understand, but the company that in Belgium makes it, I don't know how they do it. But all I know, it's good for the ones who make this. So, listen, Pedro. El cuarto bate, claro que sí, yo lo conozco, el cuarto bate. I do not agree with everything he says, though. In a sense, he's very pro-rights, and I'm not right or left. I am my own. But actually, I agree with 95% of the things he says, yes. Except when it comes what he said about Donald, Barack Obama, some kind of things. But I do agree a lot with El Cuarto Bate. Totalmente. A lot. That's like, coño, lógica. Es lógica totalmente. When he worked en el gobierno de la mañana, creo yo, no sé dónde era que estaba trabajando, era muy fuerte, muy, no sé, hay alguna cosa, muchísimas cosas I agree, but cuando se trataba de Trump and some stuff, he's a bit extremist, but actually, yeah. So, she's casar, si you like him. Sí, pero yo conozco el cuarto bate. Yo no siempre veo su contenido, pero he's very blunt. He's like me. I love that. He's extremely blunt. He's like, blunt Dominicans. The way Dominicans are, like, muchos de nosotros son blunt. Like, this is una mala palabra como es. Habla como es, apasionado and all that stuff. So, he doesn't have this, sí, que no sé qué. Él dice lo que le da su gana, como es, como le sale y como lo piensa. Así como soy yo, totalmente. Yes. Sí, ese es el problema, que él es demasiado pro-Trump. Pero yo también entiendo por qué. Porque Trump es una figura medio difícil. A nivel internacional y todo eso, no. Pero para Estados Unidos no fue tan malo. Y todo lo que pasó durante Trump no fue Trump que lo generó, ya eso estaba. Porque es el pique que a mí me da. Oh, Trump, no. El racismo existía antes de Trump. Ahora con Hollywood, que todo lo queer, que inclusion, coñazo, no eran la misma gente que estaban antes ahí. No eran los mismos directores, no eran los mismos casting, los agents que hacían el casting. O sea, eran otra gente. Eran la misma gente. So now people are pretending to be dumb. Like, everything bad that happened was during Trump. Pero la vaina es que muchas cosas que lo que Trump dijo lo cumplió en Estados Unidos. Y también él vio que muchísimas, como yo creo que eran 40,000 empresas norteamericanas, o sea, de Estados Unidos, de Norteamérica, se fueron para China. Y es cierto, y dejaron ese país, no en completa pobreza, obviamente que no, pero desaparecieron muchos trabajos. Y dijo, coño, pero espérate, algo tiene que venir. Lo del muro, Obama como presidente yankee, que es normal, deportó muchísima gente. That's normal. That's normal. Every country is allowed to protect their borders and their immigration. But I think that this rhetoric, like, they were good, they're bad, and all that stuff, and how they play people, I understand that. I understand the game. But as a professional, as someone who studies something, I understand it. But as a person, me, Paula, the person, it infuriates me. Totalmente. Yeah, Gigi, come on the panel. No, so, yeah. Bueno, señores, vamos a dormir. Ay, sí, ahora yo estoy más despierta. A dormir, gracias por estar ahí. Gigi, te fuiste. Debiste venir o debiste venir un día, Gigi, porque te he visto varias veces. Claro, porque es la verdad, señor. Uno no se puede perder en eso. Facts over feelings. Lo que yo sienta como persona no puede afectar la lógica, porque esas son dos cosas que están desconectadas. Eso es aquí, eso es o sea, tu sentimiento como persona. Es como, por ejemplo, un ejemplo fácil. Tú amas a tu esposo, ¿verdad? Con todo tu corazón, tu marido, pero te pegó los cuernos. O te pegó. Entonces tú tienes que usar esto. Tú lo amas, tú quieres, tú lo quieres, lo adoras, pero el tío te pegó y te insultó delante de la gente, entonces tú tienes que tomar una decisión con la maldita cabeza, no con el corazón. Tú tienes que dividir esa desgracia. Te gusta un tipo, ¿verdad? Te tiene loca. Pero el tipo tiene su mujer, tiene sus hijos y no la va a dejar por ti. Y además tú no quieres tampoco que le deje, porque un hombre que deje a su mujer y sus hijos ojos por ti, dime, y te lo va a hacer a ti también. Facto, esa vaina se divide, que es como los hombres dividen el pensamiento, la lógica y lo de abajo. Ellos saben muy bien, a esta yo la quiero y a esta me lo odio y se lo pongo ya. O sea, yo no tengo problema con facts over feelings. Y muchas veces los facts, la cosa como son, I do not agree with that. Porque, o sea, una cosa es como yo siento las cosas y otra es como son. So I have no... Vende patrias... Anti. Bienvenido, macho. Dime, macho, ¿qué tú crees de ese hashtag don't come to the yard and all that stuff? So, okay, next time, Gigi, tú tienes que join in the panel and all that stuff. Daría bacano discutir algo. Con gente que think alike, pero con gente que think totalmente diferente. A mí me gustaría tener un panel un día. Bueno, eso he querido hacer varias veces, pero muy... profesional, todo el mundo hablando, preparado muy bien, hablando muy bien, sin atacarse de manera personal y hablando de algunos temas, pero con visiones totalmente diferentes, porque yo tengo mis convicciones fuertes, como yo soy, pero a mí también me gusta escuchar a las demás, rebatirla también, pero escuchar como que agregan, porque tampoco es que uno es dueño de la verdad y que el otro no tiene la razón, pero de la misma manera el otro tiene que escuchar los argumentos de uno. Me gustaría llegar, cónchale, a eso, que un día podamos en esta pequeña comunidad tener ese tipo de conversaciones o debates. Talk, Gigi, te voy a tomar la palabra una próxima vez. Yo tengo Instagram, Fundiendo Neuronas. Sí, ay, y denle like y subscribe a este video si no te da la gana, o si no le gustó, denle a la vaina abajo. ¿Le gustó o no le gustó? Dígame, ¿qué es lo que? ¿Te pareció un disparate? Do you like this video? Yes, let me know. Didn't you like it? Okay, let me know. Like it or don't like it. Subscribe or don't subscribe. Y ya, coño. Porque, ajá. En fin. The healthcare sector. Oh, muy interesante eso. En Dominican Republic ahora quieren poner una tercera vacuna. La tercera. ¿Dónde están los datos? Una tercera. Una vaina tan coño que impacta el organismo tan fuerte. Una tercera. Yo no soy doctora, pero coño, la tercera está fuerte, ¿eh? Y diferente. So, yeah, hit the like or the dislike. Dime qué es lo que. Morena, tú estás ahí. Yo sé que te había ido. Thank you. Mis pilares, yo sé que ustedes siempre le dan like y cosas así. So, anyway, mujeres, las voy a dejar a keep, ay Dios mío, quédense enfocadas. Do not be distracted by all that stuff. Work on you. Que se jode el mundo, que se jode el mundo, que se jode el mundo y usted siga para adelante. No se distraiga con esa desgracia. Que se me queden hoy esa gente. Este mundo, este sistema donde vivimos es capitalista, es ultra competitivo y hay que jugarlo. Está set up para algunas gente succeed, sí. La gente con muchísimo dinero. No nosotros los aspiring middle class o middle class. No. Eso es un sistema. Es como un sistema operacional iOS o no sé qué DH. Todos son diferentes. Y usted se adapta. Como los applications y los sistemas en su trabajo, usted se adapta a eso. Si usted se va a, no sé, el desierto del Sahara a vivir con los tigres del Sahel, los tuareg, el sistema ahí es diferente. Entonces usted se adapta a ese sistema. En Saudi Arabia el sistema es diferente. Usted se adapta a esa sociedad, a ese sistema. Eso es. Aquí, pues, el sistema es tal y uno se adapta a eso. Uno no lo puede cambiar y casi porque así, porque tampoco fue uno que lo hizo. Eso viene impuesto de allá arriba. Y usted no puede cambiar un juego de básquetbol desde afuera. Usted tiene que estar adentro, jugar ese juego, conocerlo, hacer sus vainas, sus links, sus conexiones, y ahí usted puede cambiar, no desde afuera. El que está cambiando eso desde afuera está haciendo bulla y te está llevando a ti. Sí, camarada, vamos. Pero él se ve muy bien el líder, que es lo que con eso. Te está utilizando a ti y tú no te das cuenta. Si usted tiene 15 años, está todo porque todo el mundo pasó por ahí. Todo el mundo era revolucionario, los 15, 16, pero hasta yo, la primera, todo el mundo. Pero después yo creo que como adulto uno tiene coño que darse cuenta, un ching demonio. So. Ay, Morena Reyes, tú y yo tenemos que hablar mucho, porque tú sabes que yo soy medio cubana de no sé dónde, pero en fin. Yo creo que yo podría hablar con tu mamá y tu abuela 7,000 cosas, que tú te vas a quedar como que... bueno, macho, quiero que dime.
Hey, Paula, buenas noches o buenas tardes o buenos días, digo, porque allá son la una, ¿verdad?
Bueno, lo que sea donde la gente está.
Sí. All right, I'm going to speak in English. What I think is happening is that this is all coming from New York City, the New York City liberal base. You know, I'm on Instagram. You know, I'm on Instagram now and social media, and this is where you see all this stuff. Like in real life, like, you know, you walk in the streets, watch nights, you don't see none of this stuff, but everything's online, which I call a propaganda war. I've said it from the beginning. And what hurts me is that's from my own people. Like, and I want to ask these people this: do you want to see DR destroyed? Do you want to see it destroyed?
They don't care about DR. They don't.
So they do when it's fun and games, when it's to have fun and go to the resorts and take pictures and say I'm Dominican, but then on the other hand, now they're gonna bash our whole. This is, you know what it is, Paula? It's after the patriarchy. They're after guys like me. They want guys like me gone, removed. So when you're looking at a guy like me, I'm like the last of the Mohicans. After me, there's not going to be any more. I'm the last of it. They're after the patriarchy. You know what it is? After the patriarchy, they want the father gone from the house.
Which patriarchy? Eso no existe ya el patriarcado.
No, it does exist.
What do you mean? Eso no existe. El patriarcado, el hombre.
No. It's the fact that man and woman, family, and the head of the household is usually the man. You know what I'm saying? In America, it's totally different. It's a different, and trust me, I just came from DR, and the Dominicans over here and the Dominicans over there, two different animals, two different societies. You can't lump them all together. You cannot.
Of course.
You cannot. So it's still patriarchy in the Dominican Republic. You know, and they want that destroyed. They don't want that. So I think that's really the bottom line. They want us to go in the route of what happened to the African Americans here in the United States, where they removed the father from the house, and with the rise of feminism, the welfare system, and all that stuff. Now they're doing it in Latin America, and it's being done by our own people, mostly women. That's why I go hard at women. I'm sorry, you went to the political sphere. It's all. I don't care what gender you are. If you're gonna spit some bullshit, we're gonna call you out. That's just how it goes. We got to protect our sovereignty at all costs. We're at a point, at a moment. I said it from the beginning. These 10 years are going to be very pivotal for Dominicans. Very pivotal. Either we can gain the country back, or we could lose it completely. And we have so many issues. So many, Paula. So many.
Yeah, no. Vice.
You know.
Vice.
We could first start with the economy. Of course, we start with the economy. You know, we start with infrastructure. Then we start, of course, with the STEM. You know, how we're last in education. Then you have the border problem, and now you have this. It's like everything's piling on top of us.
Yeah, but also the family, the destruction of the family is been going on in the Dominican Republic.
No, of course. But now, since I'm in social media, I'm seeing it like firsthand. I'm seeing all the stuff that's going on. You know, when I was over there, I saw a lot of families together. I didn't see a lot of single mothers. I didn't really see it like it over here. You know, over here being a single mom is just normalized. It's whatever. Over there, you still see man and wife. You know, there still carries a tradition over there, and they want that tradition gone.
Yeah, because we believe in gender roles, and it's the truth. You need a father in the house. You need the father. You need the mother. What you give, what the father gives to his child is very different.
Look, I'm a Vente Patria hunter, right? Vente Patria hunter, right? I see it, you know, and this is all happening on social media, YouTube, everything, and it's usually women and gays. Usually.
Los hombres no están en eso.
So I asked women, do you want men to be soft? Do you want us to be soft? Do you want us to be soft? No, you know what it is? Certain women like effeminate men so they could control them.
¿Quién te dijo? Ninguna mujer le gusta un hombre.
Certain men like effeminate men around them so they could control them. No, ninguno. Some do, Paula. Some women like strong man, but certain women are afraid of a strong man. It's very true. And that's what they want. They want the father out, the patriarchy out. And I'm all for patriarchy. Whether we have to reinvent it in the modern time, yes. The patriarchy, what was in let's say in the 40s, is not going to be the same in 2021. It's two different things now. It's two different eras, but we have to update. It's almost like an iPhone. You got an iPhone, the iPhone that you got in 2009, that's the same as 2021, right? There's always an upgrade, correct? That's what I'm talking about. We have to upgrade the patriarchy. You know, now it comes with femicide. Femicide, I'm totally against that. You know, femicide that's happening in the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, that's bullshit. That, I think they should march for that, and I'm totally for that. You know, because the men still believe the women got to live in the 1960s. Well, no, you know, it doesn't happen that way. Unless you can provide for them and they stay home or whatever. But you have to always adapt with the times, but at the same time keep the base, which is tradition. You cannot lose that base. Once you lose that base, everything's gonna go, you know, to hell. You know. So that's what I think. This whole thing I saw, you know, I seen it from. You know, what's crazy is that we have Dominicans who are you know, in Hollywood or in the entertainment industry pushing this narrative because they're in Hollywood, and Hollywood is, you know, mostly gay. And who knows what they do at night? These people. Who knows what? So they're pushing their lifestyle on people, which is totally wrong. I don't care what you do in the bed. That's your business. That's none of my business. But don't politicize sexual deviancy. Don't politicize that.
Yeah.
That's the like if someone, let's say, I don't know, I have a friend and he happens to be gay. That's fine. I don't care. I mean, I'm not gonna discriminate you. I'm not gonna hate on you. I'm not gonna cause violence. But at the same time, if you're like, we need rights when we have poor people all over the world, when we have crime, it's certain things are more important than others. What you do in the bedroom, that's behind the line. That's back there. We have way more issues to take care of, and shame of all you Dominicans. Shame on all of you who are pushing for the destruction of our people. And you don't even know it with your propaganda. But don't worry. I'm fighting that war. A lot of people fighting that one. This war is different. It's not with guns. Like I said, it's not with guns, knives, helicopters, nothing. This is all psychological, spiritual. And I'm fight to the end. It's going to be a 10-year war. But we're going to come out winning. Because you know what? You're riding the liberal wave. You're riding the liberal wave right now. But that liberal wave is going to change when America in general is full of crime and despair, and we're going to need a strong man to go in there to clean it up. That's when we're going to win. So enjoy it now, because your time is going to be over. All you all you Dominicans, all you Patriots, you make me sick. Maybe you think people died for you. You spoiled brats. That's what it is. It's American spoiled brats. You want to impose your theories on that poor country that's going through so much, and all the people that fought wars and everything to restore it. You're gonna shit on it. That's what pisses me off. And don't worry, we're coming for you. We're coming for you.
No, really.
That's all I gotta say.
They will fall. You van a bajar por su propio peso. Boom. You don't have to come for them. They will.
No, you're absolutely right, Paula. They're gonna trip over their own feet. You're absolutely right, Paula. You're absolutely right. Because they're riding a popular wave right now. Ride it all you want, but that wave's gonna come to the end, and then you're gonna come crawling to me.
Hi guys.
Hey, welcome.
Can you guys?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure. Hi.
Hey, Gigi.
I'm so shy. I'm like cooking right now on this rainy day. It's gonna be raining the whole weekend.
Yeah, me too. I just cooked right now too.
Yeah. I did want to say one thing about that I have observed because people that are doing that in DR are, let's call it the poppies, like the upper middle class and middle class Dominicans from the capital usually are doing this. And they do go to Spain, they do go to America, to graduate and get their degree. And they think that America is a model that they should be following. Like everything that America passed, all the trendy things, like they think that's the perfect model to be following, and they want DR to be like that. And the fact that they don't realize how bad things are turning out here because of all these policies, what's it called? Those, gay policies, or like these critical race theory policy, like they don't know how bad it's dividing the country.
It is dividing us. Those puppies, they don't even know their own country. Esos puppies le queda coa. All they know is just el polígono central de la capital.
Yeah.
They don't even know. Ellos nunca han ido a Cotuí. Ellos no saben dónde queda Jima. Sahoma, never heard of. They know La Romana and all that stuff. So they have this white savior, let's say Dominican middle class savior complex. They all studied in the US or at the top Dominican universities with those useless degrees. And they think, they hate being Dominicans. And many times, or the lesbians, the gays, that kind of things, are some that are a bit smart in one, un puesto en la presidencia and all this stuff, or the rebel ones. They don't know. Ellos nunca han ido a Montecristi. Bueno, quizás a Montecristi sí, pero a Jimaní jamás en la vida. So they have never been to Los Minas, Herrera. They don't know that. So and they're talking about the problematic. What they do is copy.
That's what they're doing.
They hate being Dominican and everything that represents Dominican. They don't even know their country. How can you solve your own problems with other nations' ideas? It's not even; those are not even our problems. We have other priorities.
Yeah.
They live in their bubble because they live in el Copiantil and all that stuff. They go to la zona colonial, habla disparate.
Yeah.
recruit some of those other girls who are depressed and all that stuff that truly come from Los Mina and all that stuff. And I've seen that on the social media. Many of those girls coming out in the sense like, oh, I was this and I also felt like that, but then I saw the reality and blah, 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 blah. I've tried to interview those girls, but they don't want to come online. Like, yes, I thought that this was a problem, but actually it wasn't. So, esas popis.
Yeah, and a lot of them also are pro Haitian, to be honest.
Yes,
yeah, they are, and people think like, you know, they are. And I was like, you know, I was gonna message one of them on Instagram, and I was like, well, they never talk about the Haitian problem. You know who deals with the Haitian problem or the economic problem? The people in the campo, you know, that are dealing with that. And I just think like we should not, like DR should not be following anything that America is doing. America is not the world leading class of economic when it comes to morals, values, family, like healthcare, even like our healthcare industry.
Nations, guys, laws come as a result of social and political evolution from certain societies. The way Belgium resolves its problems is not the same as Germany does because it's different. There are different societies. We as Dominicans, we tend to copy a lot. We don't make our own laws. What we do is like the AFP. You know that comes from Chile, the AFP. It's not like a Dominican invention. It's like, oh, how are they doing this there? Okay, they copy and paste. Same with the US. Same with Spain, France. They copy. They don't create solutions for their own problems that, you know, that coño que nacen de su propio problema.
Yeah, that's one thing. I've been around. I'm well traveled, and I remember when I went to Dubai, and people. I like Dubai because Dubai has their own identity. They could be so modern, but they still are conservative, and they have their own rules in the way that they want to govern their society. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to go to every country in the world and it be exactly the same. That's basically a one world rule.
Gigi, that's the plan. That's the plan.
I don't want that. Like when I go to a country, I want to be like, okay, Ireland's different than Spain, you know, or Ireland's different than Peru. And one thing I can say about Dominicans, because we're being on attack like always, we're still conservative compared to other Hispanic countries. Like Mexico, they allow gays to get married. Mexico lets, you know, like for like civil right, like civil unions, they allow gays to have, you know, kids. Yeah. In Colombia now they're allowing transgender to be in the pageants. Like at least, you know, DR is still staying true to their conservative roots because we're like the only ones that don't even have abortion legal.
Yeah, but still, that women are not committing abortion. Come on.
Yeah, they still are underground. Yeah.
I am pro-choice. Do lo que a ti te dé tu maldita gana con tu muchacho.
Nope, I don't. I'm against abortion.
Against
abortion. You know why? You know why, Paula? It gives incentive for women to sleep around all the damn time.
No. I come from like the health, like the science point of view when it comes to abortion, and I think there's too much options already, and I think abortion should be the last option. Yeah, the last option when it comes to it. Yeah,
they choose it. It's not my child. It's you. It's tu conciencia, no la mía.
Yeah,
I'm like that kind of person. I live and let live. Would I do it personally? No, yo no. Soy yo, Paula. Pero no te puedo venir a ti a imponer eso. A lo que a ti te venga en gana. Total, es tu mente, es tu vida, tu dinero, tu cuerpo. Me importa a mí. But you know,
there's a thing. There's a book called 1984 that says 1984. There's a quote say, "Too much freedom leads to slavery." And you can't give. You know, if you have children, you can't give them too much freedom. Why don't you give them too much freedom? Because then they become spoiled. Then it's never enough. Then when they're free and they have everything good around them, they become spoiled. And that's what it is. We're a spoiled society. We have too many options. And that's not really a good thing, is to have too many options. You know what I mean? Certain things you got to be outlawed. Certain things you can't do. You know, we live in a society where, you can do anything you want, but then you're never going to fulfill yourself. You're never going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, when it comes to abortion and stuff, that's something I'm not going to talk about because, you know, I'm not a female. I'm going to stay, you know, a little bit out of it. But the thing is that, you know, my issue is Dominicans going against Dominicans. I said it from the beginning, when in the 80s and 90s, we were all 100% Dominican. 100%. 100, and we protected our neighborhoods. No one came in and fucked with us. Now it's 60-40. 60% 40 and 40, 60%, 100% pure pro-Dominicans and 40% Vendepatrias.
But the majority of those Vendepatrias are alienated Dominicans, kids from Dominican parents, whose parents did not instill in them Dominican values, Dominican history, and all that stuff. Actually, it's not even their fault; it's their parents' fault.
Yes, it is.
It's their parents' fault.
They let the
they hate being Dominicans. They like being Dominicans.
Also, one thing about abortion.
I hate it. Mango, merengue, maldita guira.
You know what's happening is that not only Dominicans, but parents are letting, you know, the TV, the school, the public education, you know, raise their children now. Like, parents are not sitting down with their kids, you know, like, oh, how was your day? Let's do your homework. Like, they're not being on top of their kids anymore. So, yeah. I'm
not a parent, but I understand it's hard because sometimes that's your obligation, but at the same time, you're exhausted. And in the US, it's famous for minorities to have 2 jobs. So you're home, you're tired. My sister told me, she lives in New York, in Nueva York, that, and my aunt told me as well, that it's not, you know, it happens a lot in the US. It's usual to discover that your daughter is 4 months pregnant. It's like, what? How can you discover that after 4 months? Like, those people come home tired. They say, todo bien, or they cook. They eat, they watch some TV, una estúpida novela, and they go to sleep, and then it's the same. So they do not really ask, how did it go in school? Let me see your homework, what did you learn, and all that stuff, because both the father and the mother have 2 jobs, and they have to share their apartment with other people, you know, like immigrant first generation drama. So, but at the same time, it's their fault that their children are actually not really Dominicans. They love being Dominicans for the fun stuff and the stereotypical stuff, but they hate it. They don't.
You said that. You said that. You said it. You said it. You know what it is? I said it.
You think so?
They hate being Dominican. See, they hate it.
Yeah.
They like some Dominican accents. They hate that.
Yeah. They hate the serious part. They love the fun part, but they hate the serious part. I totally agree with it.
Do you think they hate it? Do you think they hate it because we come from a conservative, like we have conservative roots?
They hate it because it's different. Yes, conservative in comparison to the area or people they grew up with. They feel that we are backwards, inferior, and all that stuff.
That's what I
see as our culture, our everything we stand for from an Americanized, racialized point of view.
That's what
I understand our culture.
Sorry, and I saw a lot of memes on social media. Was like, oh, I went to sleep on 2021 and I woke up at 14:57 in Dominican Republic. So like they're saying that like basically like we're saying like we're going backwards. Like I don't think DR is going backwards. Like I think at all. Like I think the most priority thing is to focus on education. Like DR is one of the lowest ranks when it comes to education in Latin America. It's actually really embarrassing. And I think we should put education first before we even put a road on the street. I don't know. Like education is the most important thing.
It's education, yeah.
Yes, education. I hate the tourist part. Like I feel like the president DR, he's a little bit too much focused on tourists. Like a little bit too much. Like yeah, he needs to like we need to diverse like our profile in DR. But just most of these don't go to DR.
It's easier because the money comes from abroad.
Yeah.
You don't have to create that already. You only have to give a permission. Okay, you do what you want. You construct what you want, everything. It's easier. So they will have money. It's like you have a commission, but you're not building anything. So it's like, okay, we have these resources. Princess, I'm going to make a parallel with Congo. Don't be angry with me, but it's the truth. It's like you have some resources, but you don't know how to exploit them. Like in the Congo, you have diamonds. It's like I always say that they call it Congo, RDC, the Democratic Republic, the big Congo, like the continent country, because they have everything we use in the world, but they do not have the human capital nor the science to exploit them. So they need the China and all that stuff, because they don't have. Coño, no tienen los materiales para hacerlo, no tienen el conocimiento para hacerlo. The same, we can build some hotels and all that stuff, but do you think that, okay, los Rainieri in Punta Cana, they have their own sus inversiones, but it's easier when that money comes from abroad, like Russian, Spanish investors and all that stuff, they do it, y ya, tenemos un chile impuesto, nos emplean una cuanta gente, y ya estamos un chile más felices. But then, the government develop, like our educational system, STEM, which really matters today, STEM, technology. Coño, eso cuesta mucho dinero, esfuerzo, enfoque, conocimiento, time. And those governments, they think like a really short period.
Yeah, they think short term.
4 years. They don't think como Estados Unidos, como China, como Unión Europea. They don't think like in 30 years or 50 years. No, we Dominicans don't even do that.
Yeah.
We look for the quick. We look for the quick buck. We look for the quick buck.
Not me. I'm long term. I think.
No, not you, Gigi. Not you.
I think like the Jew.
Me and you are different, but I know a Dominican, and they rather take, let's say, $100 now than wait 10 weeks and get $1,000.
Yeah, I got the influence of the Jews of New York. That's one thing you can take from them. I tell Macho, like, the bet, like, you could talk crap about them, blah, 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 about the Jews, but they're doing good for their people,
crap.
Yeah.
And they hold, you see, the thing is, while the Jews are modernized, you could say that the liberals, right? They still have Orthodox, still traditionalists. So that's why I think DR could do. DR can modernize itself, but the tradition still has to stand. It cannot be broken. It cannot. We're not going to break the tradition for nobody. Yeah, and that's the thing. You can modernize, but you got to keep that tradition. You go to Greece. Greece still has they're modern, but they still hold the tradition. You brought up Dubai. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to kill our tradition. They're trying to take the Bible from they're trying to take everything that we're known for. They're trying to strip it away, and it's from these Dominicans from New York. From New York, the communist fucking Dominicans that are helping them do it. And I swear to God, I'm going to be here. And I got connections to those CUNY teachers. Oh, I'm going to have a sit down with them very soon. And hopefully I can put it on camera so all you guys can watch.
They're making it seem like this policy that DR is making it illegal to be gay. Like they're making it so dramatic. Like when I heard about it, I was like, what happened? Is it like we're not allowing gays anymore, or you can't be gay in public? And then I read the law, like, okay, that makes sense. Like, they're not making it, everyone's treated equally. Like, we're not, just because you're from a group, you're not going to be treated extra special.
Yeah, but those people like to put their head in the sands. Do you think if the Dominican Republic was LGTB and an anti-LGBT country, we would have Los Cerqueros 15 years on TV?
Yeah.
No, that's TV. But La Kisti, La Chacata.
Yes.
La Ñata, ñau ñau, mi amor.
Yeah.
Come on.
We're not. Yeah, they're making it seem like we kill gays. Like gays are being hunted down. Like we're.
They're making.
I love her.
We're a degenerate country in todos los barrios.
Yeah, they're making it seem like we're Nazi Germany when we're really not.
In every barrio you have no paro. You're putting, that stuff.
We have a gay. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Judy. No, go ahead, Judy.
No, I was saying she was saying, we have a gay e-news on TV for the past 10 years of these gays talking about gossip, of Dominican gossip and socialite. You don't have that in America. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. Like, it hurts me that it's like there's Dominicans out there that would do anything in their power just because they didn't get their way to destroy the economy of DR. They're not thinking about their own people.
They're not even thinking about themselves. Because an economy, that's a synergy. It's like you are saying, oh, my mom, she didn't allow me to go out tonight, so she's a bee. Don't go to her restaurant. Don't go to her hairdresser. Don't go to coño, su sastrería, lo que sea, tu papá. Don't go to their business. You're killing yourself. That's a lack of identity and loyalty. That's something I will always admire of Arabs and Jewish people.
No. Paula. All right, I'm gonna catch you. You said you admire Arabs. You know they're like totally against abortion. Totally against it.
But she's coming from like more of a educational.
Okay, educational because they're ultra fundamental. The woman has no rights in that society.
That's Arab Muslims. Yeah.
No. That's again the media. The majority of Muslims are just people like you and me. They have their values, their religion, but they just want to live a good life like you and me, go to work and be left alone.
Yeah, that's how they are.
Fundamentals are a tiny minority, just as tiny as the LGBT agenda, Q alphabet people, but they make a lot of noise. Like all the gay friends or co-workers I know, no one of them that I know has ever been to a gay parade. Yo estoy loca por ir a una gay parade. I would love to, but none of them likes them. None of them likes all these LGBT. That's just the regular gay people and lesbian people that I know, and I'm sure that you know as well. They're not like that. It's always like this small minority. This tiny minority that makes a lot of noise.
Yeah, the Hollywood. It's all Hollywood. This is all a Hollywood production.
It's also you know, the Americans, you know, they want to weaponize anybody that's conservative throughout the world. Like when Biden became in office, he gave like over $1 million to people out in Pakistan because they don't get access to education. Like, it's just, you know, America's just trying to, like, they don't have economic power, so now they're trying to use
it was abortion, Gigi. It was abortion.
No, that was from Mexico. He gave that was Mexico.
So, okay, so the Pakistan was education package.
Yeah, okay. Like the females don't have access for
yes, the females. Yes, it was yes. You're right.
Yeah, on that. But yeah, DR is going to continue getting attacked.
I don't care. I'm for the smoke. I'm here, man. I ain't going nowhere. I'm all for keeping our sovereignty, keeping what we have, but just improving it. Everything that we have is nice, but we need to improve it. That's all. We don't have to change anything. We just need to improve it. Modify it. Bring it to another level. That's what we need to do. And like Gigi said, education should be the number one problem DR has to solve, because fine, let's say you're a top 10 in education, science, math, and reading, right? Your economy could take a big hit, but knowing that you have bright people in that country that could fix it. Now, if you have a great economy and low education, that's like a house of cards. It's a house of cards. One little thing's gonna blow it, boom, and then you're never gonna recover. And DR is in that position. And the thing is, all those people that want to attack DR with the gay rights and all this stuff, why don't you go over there, open up a school and teach the kids?
No. Que no teach ninguno kids, que tenemos unos cuantos locos que están allá. Every Saturday hablando disparate. Like we're the Haiti liberated us. We're the second Black Republic.
No, we don't want them.
No, that is true. That I get what you're saying. But I think we need to open up more private schools. And once you open up a private school, you can open up your own curriculum. You don't have to go to the public school. We have to open public schools. So we have to raise capital. We have to. I think that two things I would like to do. Two things: sanitation. Right? Actually, 3. Sanitation, traffic. No, the traffic is terrible out there. People run red lights. No, it's disorder. So we have to put more money into police and into military to control the traffic. Put an officer on every corner if you have to patrol traffic. And 3 is education. Those 3 things. That should be the priority for every Dominican. The priority for every Dominican.
Job creation. You can have high education, like in communist Russia.
Yeah.
Like in Iran. You know, like those people in Iran, you guys are sleeping on them. Here, all the Chinese and people from, I met a lot of people from Iran here when I was studying in Iran. All of them, biology, IT, and all that stuff. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think Iran has the females have the most PhD throughout the whole world. And they have the youngest population, which right now their young population is suffering because the American is putting sanctions on their country. So like they're not able to use a degree. So
exactly.
Yeah.
You can have your degree, your knowledge, but you have to apply it somewhere. So that's not enough education. Of course, it's the beginning, but you need different factors. They are intertwined.
Engineering, science,
and
medicine.
Not like a gender studies and all the BS. No, STEM.
Civilization. Things that help build a civilization.
I wish I could turn back the hands of time.
No, bring it back to Israel, but is the reason, a lot of our pharmaceutical stuff, like our medicine, comes from Israel. So like you have to think when COVID happened, like they made a profit off of everybody throughout the world. So they did well when everyone was doing bad.
So no, I mean, like those people, that's like they have their own little Silicon Valley. They make water out of the humidity of the air. Come on, we need something like that. It's with science. Science work. You know,
we have to compete with the world. In every aspect, in every single aspect, we have to compete with the world in order for us to ever envision DR being a superpower.
Yeah,
and that's why I tell people.
in the 100 years, but now in the
but you said it, Paula. But you said long-term thinking, didn't you?
Yeah, of course.
Long-term thinking. Long-term. You have a goal. You have a goal. It says, I want to become a superpower. Then you take those little steps to get there. It's not going to happen in my generation, your generation, maybe not even Gigi's, but our grandkids should see the fruits of our labor. And that's how we got to think. Don't do it for yourself. Do it for your grandkids' kids.
Yeah, totally. Changes don't really benefit you. It benefits a generation after. Like money, you begin with your own business or whatever. It will not benefit you. It will benefit your children or your grandchildren. That's
why do you highlight? Wait. Blood Moon said, I found it funny when you see, I've intermingled with Blood Moon is the most negative person I've ever met in this chat. Everything is negative from this woman's mouth.
No. Blood Moon is facts over feelings. Ella tiene
wait, fact? That's a fact?
Es medio complicado ese.
That's not a fact. That's an opinion. That's an opinion. Opinion over feelings, I guess. That's not a fact.
It's true. No, pero ella es seca. Ella lo que es seca y...
No, she's very negative. She finds problems, never solutions.
But she's right on this. Not everybody's into STEM or have the brains to follow through it. And DR, finding a job with any degree is difficult enough. Yeah, that is true. So I think we also need to focus on farming, making sure that we never will ever be dependent on imports of our food. I think agriculture is really important. And
You touched a very important point. I made a video like that when I started last year with YouTube. It's very important because who controls your food controls you.
Like we don't want to be like Puerto Rico.
Pardon? Sorry?
I said we don't want to be like Puerto Rico that imports.
Or Haiti. Or Aruba. No, Curacao.
Jamaica too.
No, Jamaica controls its own food.
Yeah, they do, but they don't have. They don't have a good soil.
They import it from Florida.
Yeah.
They import it from Florida.
They don't have a good
we have a good. We have we're blessed. Actually.
Yeah, we are.
We're truly blessed.
Yeah, and then people want to take those blessings away. So that's when I say God is on our side. You said bless. God blesses us, right?
I'm culturally Catholic, of course. I cannot go.
Exactly. God is on our side. There's a Bible and a damn flag. If you believe it, it'll happen. You gotta stick. You gotta think big. You gotta think positive, even if it's not
I know,
concrete.
But,
You have to convince yourself. Convince yourself that
confidence and action, macho. Action as well.
Exactly. But
Action.
you need confidence to put in action. You need
Of
confidence
course.
to put in action. You know what
It's
I'm saying? So
combination.
that's what I'm saying. We all should be confident that everything's gonna be okay and that we're smart enough to solve these issues.
Amen. Paola, what do you think about because you're in Europe, what do you think about I'm sorry keeping you late. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. But what do you think about these Dominicans in New York? Because I'm in, the tri-state area, and I have said many times in the live stream that, I have plans to move out because these radical leftists have got crazy now. Like, I feel like I talk to my Dominicans in like New York City. I'm like, wait, like, am I talking to my fellow like brother and sister Dominican? Like, what happened to you? Like, they're being brainwashed.
El área triestatal. No, I think they are very diverse. Actually, you have, on the one hand, you have the ones that nobody sees, that are the classic high class, hardworking Dominicans, especially the ones that arrived at age 15, 16, y se quieren comer el mundo, and they go to college, community college, whatever, and and then they go to a 2-year college and then to a 4-year college or whatever. They make combinations, and after 10 years, or not even after 10 years, like, because one of my niece, tú sabes que uno tiene un reguero de sobrino en Estados Unidos y primo y de todo. So it's like many times they go to the community college and they graduate, and then in a month or 2 or 3 they have a job, se compran un carrito and all that stuff. So you see, like, they're growing step by step. But that's something I see with this first generation that come at a very young age. And they are very classy, very normal, very proud of being Dominican, but they're very focused, extremely focused. And then you see some others que son uno chopo, pero uno chopo that I do not understand. They are this combination, this hybrid of, they got out of the ghetto of the Dominican Republic, they go to another ghetto in New York, and they combine all these things together, women and men. So the passion, the mentality, their aura, everything. It's like el diablo, en serio. So they go there, they will never learn English, and when they get their taxes, they hacen a whole new body, cabello hasta aquí, but that's it. They want to live this luxury life, but they're not focused on truly, building something. They want everything fast, and they live in this Dominican Los Mina, pero en Nueva York. ¿Tú me entiendes?
Sí, yo entiendo.
No chopo, o sea, no chopo, porque a mí me gusta mi salsa, mi dembow, mi vaina, normal. No es eso. Pero es que, o sea, tigueraje allá, and they are.
I know what you're saying, Paola. It's like they were ghetto in DR, then they go to a ghetto in the States, and then they don't progress. It's like they're going backwards or staying stuck.
Yeah.
Because in the Bronx, they're like that.
Yes, and then they go back, and it's like Dominicans there are copying that. I see that a lot in the Dominican Republic. All those tattoos. I remember, I'm from the generation that when you had a tattoo, la policía te metía presa. Like a childhood friend of mine says, hizo un pequeño tatuaje ahí, small. I don't know if please saw that. Lo cogí, preso. He comes from una familia evangélica, but you always have like this black sheep, and he's a blonde Dominican, by the way. So he's a black sheep of his family. Un tatuaje ahí. He's like, graffiti and art designer, all that stuff. Preso. That is what. So, but now everybody's full of tattoos.
Too much.
O sea, una cosa increíble, feísima. And they have these Cardi B aesthetics. Cardi B aesthetics is great for the performer, for an artist. But I see a lot of young Dominican, Latin American people in New York having that aesthetic and that attitude. And also in the DR, it's like she's becoming a role model, like an example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can understand that from an artistic point of view.
Wait. Cardi B is becoming an example in DR?
Anda parriar. En la chamaquita del barrio, the unfocused one, the ghetto ones, not the one that go to school.
Oh,
and
yeah?
want to,
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. Because that's where I'm around.
My niece, she's the number, she lost Cardi B, but she doesn't have her aesthetics. But I promised her to do, that she could have every year,
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to destroy Cardi B. We need to destroy her.
Cardi B parents messed up with her and her
Yeah,
sister.
we need to destroy her.
I don't know what happened.
No,
we need to destroy her.
No, but she's a performer.
No. She. All right. So perform and don't say anything. How about that? To sing songs, don't have an opinion.
No,
how about that?
She's an artist. She's not an everyday person. We have to make the difference.
No.
She's a
She has to be gone. She has to be removed. I'm sorry. She's a vende patria, Paula.
No,
if you're not helping your people,
no,
I've
seen. I listen to a lot of radio shows in DR, and they don't really like her in DR.
It depends which one.
Maybe I watch a little bit too much conservative ones.
They don't her. But all those chicks, girls, they love her. My niece loves her too, but she doesn't. She knows from a very young age, maybe because we taught her, like my father taught me. That's a job, but still she she likes the nails. She got almost the same nails. I hate it, but anyways, but
what, the long ones? The long ones?
Oh yeah, the claw ones. Oh my god!
Like Cardi B, but still, it was a little bit too long, longer than I wanted. So we wanted to be, but anyways, okay, it's 1 month. It's summer, it's vacation. So okay, but she's like an example for the ghetto girls, ghetto women. But you see a lot of different Dominicans, the focused ones, the ghetto ones, and then the crazy liberals.
Yeah,
the crazy liberals that attack the art, that love being Dominicans for the same stereotypical things. Mango, que hookah is like hookah is now a Dominican culture. I didn't know that. I thought it was, from the Middle East. So, yo no sabía. But I thought that cigarro was our culture. Cigarro,
which we do smoke, and it's coming back. The cigar is coming back.
I think it's coming back. I have that impression it's coming back.
Yeah, my family's from Tambori, so like my grandmother grew up.
I love Tambori.
Yeah, Tambori is they're rebuilding that campo because it was really hard to get into it, but now they rebuild it. It's nice.
Is Tambori la capital del cigarro dominicana?
Yeah.
Sí.
It's in
worldwide.
Santiago. Yeah.
Worldwide.
Because I know a lot of Santiago they sold their properties to go to New York during the 60s and the 70s.
That was my family. Yeah, my sir last name for my mother's side is Polanco. So they're from the Cibao. Yeah, Polanco. Yeah. So my great grandfather sold a lot of his land, but my father's side didn't. So I still have, my father's side still has land out there.
Man, un sueño mío, mana, es comprarme una tierra en el campo, hacemos una casita de madera. Si ustedes conocen a alguien que hace casas de madera, por favor informen que quiero esa vaina dominicana. Ok, yo tampoco. Polanco, mi amor, eso da cibao adentro.
Yeah. I'm a true Polanco. Yeah.
Yeah, cibao. The Polanco one. So, yeah. So, hey, Sydney, you're there. Welcome. Yeah, cigar is part of us. Totally. So, yeah, I'm surprised every time I see like the hookah thinking like, what the heck is that even ours? We have the cigar.
I heard the quality of the DR. I heard the quality of DR cigars are actually better than the Cuban ones.
Yeah, but
it is because Cuban is just a brand. It's just a brand, but the soil that Dominicans have.
The soil in DR is amazing. Yeah.
Yes, I know. I don't know anything about that. But once I read that truly made the cigarro industry bloom in the Dominican Republic were Cubans because they had a different seed. They were more experienced with esta vaina del tabaco. But I don't believe me. That's something that I read. I don't know if it was biased or not.
Phoenix, you see, Phoenix Legacy. He's a cigar person. He could school us,
Really?
and he's a
Yeah.
Marine. Actually, he's a Marine, so he's respectable. He's a respectable person.
Okay, so thank you for your service. A lo gringo. So, but I know
Yep,
cigar
thank you.
and pipa, una vaina así, después ponían tabaco, una pipa. You know, unos cigarros, right?
Oh, look, Phoenix. Look. Paula. Phoenix Legacy said a woman runs the show when it comes to cigars in DR. So you know how we put down women? Women had no rights. There you go.
Actually, there's a statistic saying that DR has the most women directors throughout Latin America. Like, there's more directors and like manager roles that are females in DR.
Muy bien, muy bien.
Yeah.
Phoenix Legacy, no sabía.
Yeah.
I knew that it was making a comeback. I knew it was making a comeback with cigar with young people. Or
Yeah, it is. Trust me, it is. Like, look, when I started smoking cigars in 2011, no one around me smoked cigars. But when I had Instagram, that's when Instagram first came out, and I started smoking, then everybody that I knew bought cigars. So the way I roll is I'm an influential person. I've always been that. Whatever I do, people want to do it. So I'm bringing that back. I'm bringing the guayabera back. I'm bringing all the traditional stuff back. When I go out, I go out like traditional. Yeah, you saw me on IG. Yo estaba con los tigres, Paula. You know, but como yo estoy con los tigres, I gotta blend in. You know what I'm saying?
Ay, Dios mío.
Well and roll. Hey, you know, Paula said, you saved that picture porque mira, es un par de tigres, loco.
So chifero.
No puedo.
Paula started laughing. Diablo, macho, qué tigre. Yeah, but no, when I go out, you know, look, I told the story. I went out to a local lounge. So everybody was dressed, you know, shorts, sneakers, hat, whatever. I came out with slacks. I had the tight shirt. I had the shoes and everything. And a young girl, she was like 25, 26, say, you know, I like what you're doing right now. So like, what's that? Like, you took the time to really get dressed. You know, when others you see around, they don't care. You get what I'm saying? Like, our women still like that facet of us. That it's like that pretty boy kind of suave thing. They still like that. You know, that hasn't changed. The Americanization of the way we dressed, you know, has ruined our culture. So I'm gonna bring it back. Don't worry, I'm gonna bring it back. Me.
Good. Ay, sí, tú también tienes un sombrero, macho. Yo vi en tu foto.
Sí, el sombrero. Yeah, exactly. That's the way I dress. I dress with the polo shirt, slacks, shoes.
Muy bien.
That's it. Sí, una chacabana. I'm gonna get a chac. And chacabanas are coming back. I went to Banana Republic.
They are back.
I love it. Yeah.
I went to Banana Republic today because I went shopping, and the guayaberas are there. I was like, oh shit.
They're from Dominicans. ¿Cómo se diseñador Johnny? Diablo, se me olvidó el nombre. I want to buy a dress from, pero diablo, 15,000 pesos.
What?
I'm telling you, that's the problem with Dominican designers. Coño, pero tengo unos precios más baratos que ustedes no son Armani ni de esa gente.
They're trying to be like also la venta.
Diablo, I mean, like, no, yo te puedo dar 6,000, of course, yo no soy gente de pedir discount, pero coño, pero una vaina bonita, pero coqueta y tú sabes que son bien, pero still, you know.
Yeah, you can't dress like a freaking rapper all the time.
You know? Yo tengo mi sombrero también, of course. You know, something that me duele el alma that we lost was, you know, our grandparents in El Campo, they all used to wear a hat. Sombrero. They don't do that anymore. They wear like this baseball cap.
Yeah.
It's too much American influence that we have got for the past 30 years now. Like way too much. Mm-hmm. Like it's really sad. You know, you can see when you go to the campo, even people are dressing like New Yorkers. I'm like, what happened?
Sometimes like, what the heck? Yes, with this baseball cap. Both of my grandparents were the last generation to really use un sombrero every time. They went out of the house, with a sombrero ahí. So yeah,
I think that's why I think Phoenix Legacy brought up a thing. I think we've been talking about it, that I would love for mandatory military service in the Dominican Republic. 2 years. Everyone do 2 years.
We're
And I
really
think
trying to
that'll
be like
fix a
Israel.
lot of problems.
like Israel, but
Israel,
okay,
South
where
Korea, I think Iran, Russia, I think is like
Japan.
that.
I don't think Japan does
Japan
that,
is
right?
like that. I don't know, but there's several countries that do it, and that's what we need to instill discipline. Once you instill discipline in the populace, everything comes after. Everything comes after. You know.
yeah,
Y
but 2
también,
years, but
Paula, and también one thing I noticed, one thing that Dominican Americans have over Dominicans, right? Because we always bash Dominican Americans and stuff. El dominicano, hombre, allá, muchos de ellos son vagos, no quieren trabajar. I
los
noticed that.
dominicanos muchos quieren trabajar, lo que pasa es que ellos no van a trabajar por chilata.
Yeah,
No, pero
no, Paolo's right. That's true. Like
Ese es el problema. Los sueldos dominicanos en el sector privado no han aumentado tanto, pero porque si tú tienes una competencia desleal que siempre lo está bajando, ¿cómo diablo? Entonces, si yo sé que mi trabajo vale 10,000 y una gente lo hace 5,000, obviamente yo como empresario yo voy a pagar menos, acá 5,000, pero entonces yo como trabajador es like, what the heck, o sea, 5,000, pero me cuesta mis 6,000 ir ahí, o sea, porque yo tengo una casa, una familia, no sé qué, el que lo hace por 6,000 lo está pagando una casa con agua y con de todo, se queda a vivir ahí o viven 5 en un mismo cuartico. Yeah. No es que no le guste el trabajo, porque el dominicano es muy trabajador. Y cuando sale de República Dominicana, hace trabajo que no hace en su país. El problema
no,
es
eso
que
sí es verdad. Eso sí es verdad. Eso sí es verdad.
Tú quieres hacerlo, coño, pero que te paguen normal.
Yeah. I think the last time they raised it was like, what, 8 years ago, like the wage. And there's always articles saying like, oh, the Dominicans don't want these jobs, so the Haitians have to work on it. No, it's not like that. It's the fact that Dominicans do want to do that job is that they're not going to get paid slave paid.
No.
Yeah.
No,
So.
Eso es. Ese es el gran problema. Y todo el mundo contribuye a eso. Del lado de los haitianos yo lo entiendo porque ellos lo que están es sobreviviendo.
Yeah.
Todo el mundo lo haría. El problema es...
You know what? If I were president tomorrow, one thing I would do, I'll get a special force and I'll go to Sosúa and arrest everyone.
Well, Sosúa is getting Macho. Sosúa is getting I forgot the amount of money, but the president is investing in Sosúa. He's rebuilding it. So there's gonna be a lot of cleaning up soon.
Yeah, I hope, because I went over there and it's a quagmire over there. It's a quagmire. Like beautiful beach. I mean, one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen. I mean, it's just glory. But then you walk up into into where the stores are at. Oh, there's $2 prostitutes walking up and down. You can't bring your kids there. You cannot bring kids there. And then you see, Americans, a certain type of American, I'm not gonna say, they're, just there, in their glory. And it's crazy. When we were getting the car, I spoke to the dude that, él maneja el tráfico de los carros y todo. Oh, you want this, you want that? And I told him, like, ¿qué tú crees que está pasando aquí? It's like, oh, tú sabes, todo para autorita. Y yo le dije, mira, tú sabes cuando tú vas para YouTube, esta es la primera cosa, cuando alguien pone la República Dominicana, es que sale primero. ¿Qué tú crees de eso? O sea, oh, eso no está bueno, primo, tú sabes. Y yo dije, esto se tiene que acabar, tú sabes eso. And he even agrees, like, yeah, he's doing it because it's a living. He's doing it because, it's a living. But he even agrees that it's not the best look for us internationally. It's not the best look.
No, obviamente que no. Blemon, ¿cómo así? Israel gets help from the US. Yo sé que la comunidad judía, y obviamente US, the elites, political elites and economical elites in the US, a big chunk of them are Jewish people. Yo sé que ellos se ayudan mucho entre ellos. Like, I know that people from Israel go to New York and ask for some money, but I didn't know they got reparations from the US.
I don't think they got reparations. Israel, the Jews got reparations from Germany, not from Israel. I think Bloom was more talking about the Americans' taxpayers fund the Israel military, which the reason why our taxpayers are going to Israel military is because they use Israel as like a gateway of like access to the Middle East.
Yeah. The ally of the Middle East.
Yeah. They tell like Israel, do this, like attack Iraq or attack Iran. Like they're basically like their bitch, basically.
That's a strong ally. Ese pueblo tan chiquitico, porque es la vaina. Israel no tiene 70 años ya, después de la Segunda Guerra Mundial. Se impuso en el Middle East, señores, eso es geopolitics. Nadie ha podido con Israel. Era arena, y mira dónde están ellos. Eso es lo que yo digo con visión: capital humano, science, knowledge, education, toda esa vaina.
I actually want to go over there because I think it's a parallel between Israel and Palestine. Is a parallel between DR and Haiti. It's a parallel.
Ahí es bastante complicado. Ya yo no me voy a meter en ese lío de Palestina.
I think my father said a thing. He said the Dominican thinks like Israel but does not act like Israel. Think about that.
Como si nosotros lo que estamos en DJ Adoni, ¿cómo vamos a pensar como los israelitas? Dime, ¿cómo?
Meaning that we're not conquerors. We're not conquerors.
But we don't need to conquer. We just
I think we do.
Why?
I think we do.
Tenemos otro país. ¿Qué tenemos que nosotros ir a buscar otro lugar? Nosotros lo que tenemos que es reforzarnos nosotros. Better us, our community, ourselves. We have to begin with ourselves. We don't need to conquer los vecinos. Why? Eso es de ellos. Nosotros lo que tenemos que reforzar lo nuestro.
It's theirs, but they don't want it, right? So if you don't want it, why do I get it?
They don't want it because no es viable. Like not even 20% of the ground is able para la agricultura. No es vivible, no hay agua, no hay nada.
Yeah.
So, ellos están haciendo lo que todo el mundo de manera natural haría. Lo que pasa que en ese caso, we are the dupes. Eso es. Pero lo que ellos hacen es algo natural. Ahora, su gobierno tiene que no va a pasar tampoco, que resolver ese problema. La comunidad internacional tiene que resolver ese problema, no nosotros. Eso es la vaina, lo saben, de los años 40, que Haití no era viable. That's not new.
Yeah.
Estaba hablando en esos tiempos que vayan a vivir a la Guyana Francesa, un territorio amplio en Sudamérica, con solamente, creo yo, con menos de 10 millones de personas, que lo muevan para allá. Pero ¿quién quiere? No, porque la mayoría de los Asians are not skilled. Ellos no dan un added value, excepto que sea trabajo de mano. La gran mayoría. Esto es así. Porque el Canadá a cada rato está buscando inmigrantes especializados, ingenieros de aquí, que no sé qué, y no se lleva allá. No, porque no necesita esos haitianos para su economía. Como una empresa, yo necesito esos perfiles para que me vengan a ayudar a mi empresa, pero si yo usted no la necesito, no la necesito.
Mm-hmm.
Eso es, o sea, facts over feelings. Eso es como funciona.
That's what Trujillo did. Trujillo used facts over feelings too.
No, pero espérate, ya no, a mí nadie me puede hablar bien de Trujillo en vano. Yo sé que sí, Law and Order no lo sabe, pero no, yo no soy trujillista. And I think que la gente está romantizando romanticizing.
No. Like you said, facts over feelings, right? When you look for facts, what do? You look at statistics, right?
Oh, yeah, but okay. Trujillo.
So you look at statistics. Feelings is going into how he treated people. Facts are what stats are. Stats. We had the peso oro, which was the strongest the dollar's ever been. We had more order. We had a strong military. We have a strong police, and we had clean sanitation. And when he came in, education went up a little bit. Those are facts.
I think with him there was good things and bad things. And with my point of view, it's just that I don't like how the Dominican society has demonized him. So like he was horrible. I think when you look at a leader, you should look at both sides, because there's always things like, oh, this wouldn't happen if Trujillo was alive. This crime that's happening, this wouldn't happen if we had law and order. So, I don't want to romanticize him, but I do want to see the good things, but also the bad things. I didn't like how he took like people's freedom of speech away. That was a big no-no. And also, I'm from Santiago. He had like beef with people from Santiago. So yeah, it's just, yeah.
Tierra, mi familia y toda esa vaina, o sea, que se esté quemando en el infierno, es azaroso. Hay una mujer rica.
I mean, he was the best president we ever had, too.
Él
Dictator.
tenía su cosa buena, él hizo su cosa buena, obviamente, porque no todo es shadows, él tenía sus luces también. Pero y yo entiendo que él actuó como un hombre de su época, como un dictador, como era todo
Sí,
el
sí,
mundo.
había como
So
todo el
he
mundo,
was a man of
autocrático.
his time. So
Of his
in
time, yes.
comparison with those, they were all the same. But
You can never have another Trujillo. That will never happen. That will never happen. But what we could do is take that, and this is what I tell people is you grab a fruit, you eat the fruit and throw out the bad seeds.
more complicated, yeah.
Yeah, it's more complicated.
It's a complicated situation. I don't have the answers. You know, people are like listening to me. I'm suggesting. At least I'm trying. At least I'm suggesting. There's some people who just give up. They're quitters. They're never gonna be winners in their life. But if you just keep, suggesting, keep pushing and pushing and pushing, no matter what, you get down, you get up, you get down, you get up. That's what it's all about. We have to come up with solutions. Especially, I've said it from the beginning. It's going to take the Dominican Americans, the Dominican diaspora worldwide to come back and help the country. That's what it's going to take.
No, not all. Los leftists que se queden en Nueva York.
No, Paula, of course. I'm talking about the one.
Los delincuentes que se queden allá.
Well, they're deporting them.
No necesitamos más. No contamos un solo deportado más. No, es que no. Los delincuentes se quedan allá. Los locos lefties que se queden allá. Esa gente no lo necesitamos. Necesitamos gente pensante, gente, en fin, con experiencia en ingeniería, en all the STEM, con esa vaina y que se sientan muy dominicanos y que vayan a llevar added value, pero obviamente aplatanar las cosas, not impose them, because things that work in Germany or in Sweden or in Denmark will not work the same in the Dominican Republic. So you have to adapt to our system.
What we have to do, Paula, and I said it from the beginning, we have to make our own political theory and philosophy. I don't think we've ever done that. We've always tried to implement. We always try to implement democracy, which is not for us. We try to implement autocratic rule, which is not for us. We have to implement a system that goes along with our culture.
Yeah, democracia.
No. We've been democratic for 40 years? It hasn't worked.
No, there's too much corruption. That's the problem too. It's too much corruption. Everyone's family member in DR is part of the political system. If you want to make money in DR, go and be a politician. That's how you make money.
Yeah, but you can make money another way, but you have to work very hard. Disappointments. Start small and all that stuff for the majority of people. Yeah. And again, I will repeat it. Sometimes it's not you who's going to make the money. You're going to live a bit well, but your children, if they continue those businesses that you create or whatever, they are the ones that will live better. I've been studying that for years. And it's that the first generation, in many times, in the majority of the weak economies, they don't get rich. They get to live normal. It's a second generation. And cultures that have these commercial genes, like the Arabs, like the Jewish, like the Chinese, they are the ones that thrive. We don't have that culture. We have a peasant culture, o sea, de agricultores, ese tipo de cosas. Nosotros no somos comerciantes, eso no está en nuestros genes. No está. Porque no es casualidad que en ningún país latinoamericano los árabes son mínimo clase media, son clase media altas, porque son comerciantes, they add value. O sea, nosotros solamente, como, por ejemplo, mi abuelo era campesino, but they did not add value. O sea, tú le vendías la cocoa al árabe, pero ese la ponía en la fundita, o te la vendía en leche, lo que sea. Same happens with coffee and all that stuff. So I always wonder, pero coño, porque si mi familia tiene tierra, tuvo esta desgracia, nunca se hizo realmente de dinero. Their capital was the land, and they're really rich. Pero si le vendían a esa gente que llegó después, ¿y cómo es que esos se hicieron ricos? El comercio, add value. Nosotros no tenemos eso en nuestros genes. And that's why I'm a big advocate for copy other cultures, see what works with them.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, you don't have to reinvent the business models. Like companies, copy each other. Es como, oh, lo están haciendo así.
But we
Déjame
have
hacer
to be innovative. It's good to copy, but
right.
you have to innovate at the same time, you know.
Yeah. En el mismo
when-
trabajo, cuando tú llegas, tú estás chequeando, ¿cómo es la vaina? ¿Cómo es la
Yeah.
cosa? Tú vas a
Yeah.
inventar tu cosa. No, después que tú le pones tu propio sazón. Eso
because
es.
there, I'm gonna give an example, right? In economics, Henry Ford. Everyone knows Henry Ford, Ford Corporation, America. America was the first innovator of the automobile, right? So then, once the 70s came and the 80s came, Japan came in the picture, but they had a different business model. You know, so they copied the U.S., but they came up with their own business model, to which we use until this day. We use a Japanese business model in cars. So that's what I'm talking about. You have to copy, but at the same time add your own flavor to it. Which, you know what I'm saying? Like, add your own flavor to it. You know, don't automatically copy. They do it like this. Let me do it like this. No, you have to see how they do it, make the technology, but then add your own sauce to it, your own flavor to it, and your own philosophy to it. You know. I forgot what it was called.
Pardon?
No, I forgot what that business model was called. I was just studying it because I'm in supply chain management, but it was something with warehousing and the way they waited for demand. Like, you know, the thing is, I'm gonna go into that supply chain. The American model was build cars, build. Japan was like, get the demand first, then build. You know what I'm saying? So you don't waste parts, you don't waste time, you don't waste labor. You know, and that's what we need to do. We need to copy other things, but see what fits us. See how we could be efficient. You know, and that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, totally, claro. El modelo de negocio en todo es que está ahí. O sea, es que muchas cosas se replican. Tu vida personal, profesional, con la empresarial, el país. Eso, I mean, like, Bluma, the government, I agree with you. but, you know, that will never happen. That will never happen. That will never happen.
You see, and that's the thing, like Paula, like you said, we have to long-term vision like this. The problems are not going to get solved tomorrow, next year, you know, maybe not 10 years, but we have to be going ahead. We have to think forward. You know, we have to think forward. And it comes from individuals like myself, you, Gigi, and everybody else. We all have to do our part. And to do our part is just being a model citizen. Being a model citizen.
Yes,
having kids, having a family, just doing the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also going to like DR and like not staying at resorts and like like going to the campo, like getting that experience too. Like I'm going to go to DR like this for the holiday season, and I'm gonna be working from there. So I'm gonna be like, you know, I haven't been there in like 2 years, but I go every year. I make sure, and when I go, I do not stay at a resort the whole time I'm there.
So you have a cellular? Get a cellular, Gigi?
Yeah, I'm gonna get it because every time I go to DR to take out cash in the bank, they're like,
"Oh my god!"
Yeah, they give me such a hard time, so I have to get it because I'm gonna open a bank over
I'm
there.
getting
Bank
my
account.
cellular.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm getting my Dominican citizenship.
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw a party for that one.
I have a lot of packing to do, sending stuff over there because my parents' property is done. So it's nice. I'm excited to be going there more often.
Yeah, me too. I'm definitely have a plan to retire out there. I'm not staying here.
Oh, me too. I don't want to retire. I want to go there over 5 years. I want to live in campo.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, everyone says that they want to go buy land.
I love the campo, and I love to be in the mountains. Oh my god, that cool air. Oh
yeah, I love it. I love it. The Cibao's the best. We're the best.
Ahí va macho.
Paula gets so mad when I say that.
Where's Paula?
We're the
from?
best. We're the eagle.
No, nosotros, mi sellita, coño, el glorioso, que se va ni que Cibao. Mi papá.
That's you. So you and Henry get along.
Yeah, Henry. I've been playing around with Henry. I'm like, Henry, you know who's better?
Of course.
No.
Glorioso. Sangre azul, mi amor, sangre azul. Nosotros comemos esos pollitos, esos cibaeños. A mí me gusta cuando usted dice, ¿y ahora? Ahí sí. Hey man, I always win. Toda mi familia es aguilucha. Mi familia paterna es del Cibao. Yeah, I always win. Pero yo soy de la
Yeah.
capital. Mi mamá es de San
It was
Juan.
the
So
most. It was the most impressive city that I saw in DR. It was Santiago and La
Santiago.
Vega. Of course, Jarabacoa has always been great.
Ay, bello, Jarabacoa.
Yeah, Jarabacoa. I love Jarabacoa. But La Vega, I loved, and Santiago, I loved. Mocha, I liked a little bit. It wasn't as good as Santiago or La Vega.
Mocha's really
Mocha was,
small.
yeah,
Yes.
it's pretty small.
Okay.
But yeah, those two cities, I was really impressed. Santiago and La Vega.
No, a mí me gusta Puerto Plata también. No, pero Santiago más limpio, más ordenado.
Yeah.
Esa es la verdad. A ellos se la doy a ustedes.
Thank you.
No, porque es la verdad.
Yeah.
Coño, ahí por lo menos limpian, el ayuntamiento funciona, la gente como que quiere algo. Sí, en Santiago de verdad. La gente está un poco más focus, no sé. Hay que dárselo a santiaguero ahí. Ahora, ya, ustedes necesitan al resto del país, ¿ok?
If you want to go to a party, just go to the capital.
Por eso, por fin de semana.
Yeah, the capital.
Y se baila.
Oh
a mí me
my
gusta.
God.
I like about the Cibao, los cibaeños, and all the rural areas. They still have, the family values. They still have, the truly Dominican culture. It's changing, of course, but you see, nuestra autenticidad todavía. Y la amabilidad de la gente que no espera algo, como en la capital esperan como que algo, like you ask for it's different. En el interior del país, there's still, the truly Dominican people. I truly like that. Y son muy trabajadores. I like that. It's just like more like the reflection of who you are. En la capital,
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a disaster. La capital is a disaster.
La verdad, it's true.
It was a disaster.
But
I like.
No, I heard the traffic is like really, it's like super bad in the capital, that they're trying to fix like the highways and everything, because everyone has a car. Like you have one house, right? That one house has 3 cars now. You never saw that 20 years ago.
Wow.
That's true. Yeah. There's too many cars.
There's so many cars.
And it's crazy. Like there's abandoned lots, like abandoned cars, like lots of just abandoned cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, son los carros que han incautado, pero no hacen nada con ellos, lo dejan ahí que se pierda. Ese es Dominican efficiency.
But you see, Paulo, let's go back to the Japanese model when I said supply and chain, where we follow the American thing when we build, but with no demand. And then what happens is just a waste. It goes back to square one, to my point, where we could copy the American model, but we have to be efficient. We have to be more efficient.
You know what community I love? They're not mostly here in New York, but they're in California. But I interact with them here. The Armenians. The Armenians are super organized, super conservative. They stayed out of this whole American politics. They don't even talk about it. Like they just focus family and work and education.
Yes, except one that I know, but for the rest, yes. No. They're so proud of being Armenian, and they are so. I mean, like they keep their culture as of course they were killed for being Armenian, of course.
Yeah, because of Christian.
Being Armenian is by the Turks, also after the Russians. But being Armenian is is like they're very proud of being Armenian. They're very focused. They work very hard. Ellos conservan su cultura and they pass it on. O sea, son un buen pueblo.
They're very religious too. Very religious.
También, totalmente religioso. Es parte de su identidad.
And I see them teaching their kids like the Armenian alphabet. They read the books, everything. Like they're super in touch. I think there's even like Armenian schools too, like after programs.
Yeah. They have here nearby where I live. They have an Armenian church.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So
they're all over the world. They're all over.
Yeah. They're focused. All these Yan that you see, Yan, the last name that ends in Yan.
Yeah.
And they, with the Turkish, they were, the Armenian genocide, they were killed because, or they had to change their last name into a Turkish one or become Muslim. And they were like, no, because, they're Orthodox, their religion is so important to them. And their last name, Kardashian, Kashetian, all this Yan, it's an identification of I'm Armenian, so they prefer to die.
Yeah.
See, that's what Dominicans gotta think that way.
Yeah, vamos a pensar nosotros así.
I love the Armenians, but the Persians are good. Yeah, the Persians are up there, and then there's Armenian. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can learn from different. We've been exposed to different people. We as immigrants, we didn't grow up in the Dominican Republic, so we've been exposed to different people, and I think we kind of see what works or doesn't work, what would work with us, and I think at least that's why I think that many of us are already on the right track. Like, o sea, nosotros hicimos nuestros estudios, nos portamos bien, trabajamos, we want to grow, we want to better ourselves, but we also want to kind of work or guide or help our people. Obviamente, ayudándose primero, porque es así. But I think that que nosotros estamos más que en teteo. No teteo, pero estamos más que en eso. So, but Gigi, if your family has, ¿tú todavía tienes familia en el campo?
Sí, en el campo.
Yo estoy obsesionada con una vaina. Y yo sé que va a funcionar porque yo soy de la capital. O sea, mis momentos más preciados de mi vida were
en el campo.
En el campo siempre. But como toda niña de la capital, yo no sé, ¿qué mata es? ¿Tú sabes qué es eso? Yo no. De ahí que viene el chocolate. El chocolate. I've always said, yo sé que eso funcionaría. Mucha gente está dejando sus casas del campo o la venden. Hacer como que algo para que los muchachos se vayan ahí de vacaciones o de fin de semana y que le hagan un tour de la regola, los ríos, y que le enseñen la mata. Esto es una mata de toronja, esto es una mata del DH, esto es de café. A los niños les encanta eso. Es una vaca, eso se ordeña así. Si tu familia todavía tiene casa y tierra ahí, que hagan algo, que se abran una página de Instagram y que hagan, mira, lo llevamos a tal río aquí en Tamboril, le damos un tour. El Tamboril, la vaina de la capital del cigarro, ¿no? Especialmente para jóvenes y para niños. La gente quiere salir de la ciudad. Le encanta. A los niños les encanta el campo. O sea, no solamente lo digo por mí, por todo. Chacho, nosotros no entrábamos a trompar y que por montar un burro y un caballo. ¿Qué maldita bicicleta del diablo? No, un burro y un caballo.
or the back of the truck. Going to the campo. Oh my God. That's me encanta. And in Florida, that's why I like Florida, because in Florida they allow you to do that. Yep.
But when I am in the DR, yo siempre estoy atrás de la camioneta. Atrás, cogiendo ese solazo.
I love the campo. Yeah, I'm more of a river than playa. So I'm a true person. I'm from Cibao. We like the rivers.
Yeah.
Not the playas. Yeah, I like the rivers. Yeah, I don't like to be at the playa.
Robinson, you know Robinson Cano, right? El pelotero.
Robinson Cano. Robin, mi marido.
Robinson Cano. Sí, tu marido.
Mi marido, no lo sabe.
Súper rico. Pero.
Bueno, sí, pero lo que te es bueno. Ya. Porque David es rico y a mí no me gusta.
No, sí, él es feo. En la capital, él ayudó a limpiar el malecón. Fue la compañía, esto es una compañía de basura. Y él limpió el malecón, que antes de él, eso era un desastre, el malecón, lleno de basura. Pero él vino con sus trucks. Robinson Cano, el pelotero.
Un recycling company he has.
Yeah, recycling company, sí.
¿No es de San Pedro?
Sí, en San Pedro.
No sé si es de San Pedro, yo no sé,
No,
pero...
Sí es.
San Pedro, será de San Pedro, ese malecón.
Pero el malecón ya está limpiecito. Y lo están limpiando más y más. La próxima vez que tú vas para allá, eso va a estar limpio.
Qué chulo, porque esa vaina cuando el mal olor te llegaba a distancias por ahí. No, pero eso está muy bien porque eso atrae turistas nuevamente.
Sí, la cosa es también cuando tú sales,
del pueblo de la ciudad que va para allá.
sí, cuando tú sales de la Avenida de América, del aeropuerto, y tú vas, es un basura, mira, como 3, 4 millas de basura así en el agua. Y yo digo, no, creemos que hay que limpiar eso. Y por yo creo, como yo te dije, tú que hay que tener esperanza, que en estos 10 años vamos a seguir para adelante, porque mucha gente ya se está despertando y mucha gente está cogiendo su dinero, estamos dando para allá, abriendo negocios y vamos a cambiar el país. Yo creo que vamos a cambiar el país.
Bueno, yo espero, pero es uno poco a poco y todo el mundo. Yo creo que una sinergia es todo el mundo junto, unido, porque una sola persona no va a poder hacer nada. Y uno aquí, uno lo que está hablando mucha plepla, que esperemos que alguien algún día escuche esto y diga, coño, pero están hablando plepla, pero tal cosa makes sense. You know, como
Smoothios. Gigi,
you know?
go have dinner at Camp David I went to Camp David. I went.
How was the food?
Oh my God, it was great. It's like, if you have a date, it's the perfect place to go. I mean,
Okay.
and I would love to go at night because I went during the day and you see everything, but at night you could probably see all the lights. You could probably see, and in Camp David they have all of Trujillo's cars there.
So Sue said they have historical aspects of it.
Yeah, they did. They had Trujillo's cars there. It's beautiful. It's like you oversee everything. I loved it.
Yeah, I want to go. I'm going to be in DR for 2 months. I'll be working remotely from there. Yeah, I'll be working remotely. So I have a lot of things. I never been to La Capital, so I'm going to be going there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to go there. And I do want to take the ferry to Puerto Rico.
I want to go to Puerto Rico too.
Yeah.
I want to go to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I want to go to take the ferry from, where is it, in the capital, right?
In Capital, yeah, right in front of Diego Colon's castle, like behind it. It's right behind it. Rio Osuna, right there on Rio Osuna.
I have to see how much it is, but I do want to say
Osama. What's Osuna?
Osama.
Oh, like
Yeah,
Osama bin Laden. No.
Osama. Yes, Taino. That's the Taino word. Yeah.
So it's right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do it for 2. I'll probably go to Puerto Rico for 2 nights or 3 nights. I'll probably do that, but I'll probably be in Santiago most of the time. Because I've been to Mocha, I've been to like all those like the historical stuff in the Cibao already. So I think I do want to do like the tourist thing that you did in the capital.
Yeah, you should do it.
Yeah,
I recommend everyone just to do it.
I like museums too. I know there's a museum in Santiago. I forgot. It's called what's the name of it? I forgot. But there's a museum in Santiago too. So I want to do a lot. Yeah, so I probably want to do that too.
Yeah, that's what I tell people.
Robinson Cano está buena. Y no, Trujillo's car should not be burned.
That's radical leftists be doing.
Blood Moon, no, you see, no. I revoked your Dominican card is in question, Blood Moon. It's in question. That's under review now.
She's entitled to her opinion. Eso no es nada.
No. She's very negative. We can't have no type. We're moving forward, not backward. You got to think positive. No.
Ella es muy pro Dominican. Lo que pasa es que ella tiene su opinión y es muy pro Dominican.
All I say, you know, Blood Moon's the type of person like if I'm getting ambushed, she'll run away.
No.
Yeah, she'll run away. Yeah. She's that type of person.
Ay, Dios. It's okay, Bloomin'. But Bloomin', we shouldn't be burning history because when you do that, people repeat history. So, like, I don't like how people want to take down all these towers down. Like, there's if you want to take it down, there's a democratic process for that, right? So like I don't like how in New York people want to take down Christopher Columbus down or want to take down all these like statues. I'm like, it's part of the cancel culture basically.
You know what I'm gonna have? I'm actually gonna have a live stream during Christopher Columbus parade. That's what I'm gonna do. Because he belongs. Because he's a part of Dominican history. He is. He's basically like, you know, he landed there first. I mean, who is Isabela la Católica, Maria de Toledo, who's the wife of Diego Colón. Like, that's part of our history, and it shouldn't be removed. You know, so I'm definitely gonna go in New York. I'm gonna do a live stream Christopher Columbus, and I'm gonna interview people, Italians, everyone, what they think about Christopher Columbus. That's gonna be a great lesson.
It's funny that the Italians celebrate him. You know, they have their parade in the city, and they don't know the history that Chris Columbus has with Dominicans and Hispanic countries.
Yeah.
They're a little bit coolest about it. Yeah, they're a lot. They're
So
very
we have to take him. We have to take him because it gives us more importance too. It gives the island more importance. People don't recognize that. You know, you have to absorb everything that made us, not just leave some stuff
God,
out.
Blue
and just
Moon.
go
No.
See, no. Now it's completely revoked. It's completely revoked. Dominican card revoked for her. She could come back. She could come back, but it's like a credit card. You know, when you apply for a credit card and you decline, but you have 90 days to do it again. That's her. 90 days, Blood Moon. You got to renew your membership.
Okay, like I understand, like he had bad history, like, you know, but like
Christopher Columbus.
yeah.
Pero Colón murió creyendo que él había llegado a la India. Colón en ningún momento pensó que él había descubierto nada. Hay mucha desinformación en cuanto a eso. Colón quería ir a la India a hacer business, ya. Eso era un comerciante. Llegó, encontraron un lugar, bien, regresaron. Ellos hicieron lo que todo el mundo haría.
He was an explorer. He was an explorer. Exactamente.
He was an explorer. Iban a hacer comercio. Él quería ir a la India.
Tú sabes, Christopher Columbus is actually the good guy, and the bad ones are is actually, you know, the army, because he found it. Oh, and they go, okay, get out of here, and now let's go get the gold. He died broke. He had no money.
And the thing is that I had read that he said many beautiful things about the whole island. Like, you know, he wanted to be buried in the island. That out of all the countries that he like visited, this is the island that he wanted to be buried in.
Hell yes. I have Christopher Columbus blood. I have it in my bloodline.
A mí lo mío
he had a lot of kids. He had a lot of kids with Taino women. He had a lot of kids. The balloons had a lot of kids. So the DNA is probably still there.
La colonización española y portuguesa no era el mismo modelo anglo. Eso lo he explicado este niño, Oye de Rancho, 7,000 veces. La gente
I don't get it. I don't understand.
El modelo es diferente. Y lo que divide es cierto, un both stop, pero el modelo donde viviste. Eso es, o sea, yo no sé por qué la gente se pone tan emocionada, que eso es historia, muy bien para saberla.
What does it say on your shirt? What does it say on your shirt?
Nada. Poner o quitar no va a quitar
ningún
problema de hoy en día. No lo va a resolver ningún problema. Dime.
What does it say on your shirt? What does it say on your shirt?
Facts over feelings, pero tú no me estás viendo.
There you go. Facts. And Christopher Columbus is a fact. He's part of Dominican culture and history. What? There you go.
History.
He's part, of course.
Yeah.
Esencial, obviamente, ya. Pero quitar una estatua de Cristóbal Colón o de quien sea, ¿qué va a resolver eso a mí hoy en día?
They want to take him down and put a statue of George Floyd. That's what I want to do.
No, yeah, it's just that people's priorities are so out of line. Like, we have other things to focus on, people. Like, a statue it's not going to make you rich, like taking it down. It's just identity politics. Gigi, what happened?
But that's what I told you about freedom and slavery. When you give people too much freedom, they're spoiled. They're never happy.
No, Americans, this is what happens with Americans now, is that we have everything now, right? We have technologies, we have clean water, we have everything. Now we have nothing to do. So now we're just complaining. And what we should be doing is focus on math and science, because China has a 100-year goal right now. And there's no coming back anymore. So all this pro-Trump saying, oh, look at China. China's trying to take over. China has already took over already.
China is taking its place again. China has been an empire for centuries. No es una vaina nueva, no una creación nueva como nosotros. We are like a new, like a new ethnos. We're a new ethnos. We only exist for 500 years, less. But China has been an empire for ages. The Persians is the oldest people of the world. They've been existing for ages, for centuries. I mean, China is just coming back. Iran is coming back little by little. while the world has blocked Iran. We cannot do transactions with Iran. I don't know if you know. With Cuba, how can those countries develop if you cannot make business with them? The banks blocks those transactions and all that stuff. But okay, that's fine. But like they're just back. They're in their original states. There's just
That's what I'm saying. It's an establishment of the empire because they've had empire before.
It's an empire.
You know who I think is going to be the next one? Iran. I think Iran is going to come out of their situation and they're going to be one of the top 3 leaders. Because what's holding them back is America. America knows the ambition that the Iranians could have and the power that Iranians could have in the world. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the reasons they put sanctions to that country. So, yeah.
Everything that's the American view. If you're not with us, you're against us.
Mm-hmm.
Cuba, that's the reason why it didn't work. I'm sorry, I'm not a communist, but it is the way it is. ¿Qué quería Fidel? Le mandó en su país que la cosa fueran tal. But how can he thrive? How can that system thrive without the Soviet Union if he's blocked from everywhere? You cannot make a bank transaction, Cuba. I bet you.
Yeah, you have to.
This alarm will pop up at your bank.
Yeah, you have to diversify your portfolio. You have to.
Where does the money? Everything. Come on.
You see, and that's the thing is that Latin America, Hispanic America has been dependent on 2 things. It's been America or Russia. So if America falls, then where do we stand? And that's the thing. Like we have to get support from many business partners, many other countries, and diversify ourselves. So if one falls, we still have this. And be very
Go ahead, Macho. Sorry.
And be very pragmatic.
Yeah, I think one thing that taught a lot of countries throughout COVID is that they should never, globalism is not healthy for any country, and we should never depend on any countries for supply economically. So I think a lot of countries like in the EU, probably if you correct me, but I think a lot of countries in Europe are going to be leaving the what's it called? The European Union.
EU.
Yeah, the EU. I think Spain. I give Spain 3 more years, 3 or 4 more years. You don't think so?
Spain needs the EU.
Yeah, needs it? Really? Really?
They have no money, right? They have no money.
De España vino cuando entró la Unión Europea. Lo mismo con Portugal y Grecia.
Yeah, all the Southern Europeans did horrible under the European Union.
No.
Qué
horrible. ¿Tú sabes cuántos subsidios lo que le va peor, como que dice, son países como Alemania y como Holanda y lo de
I see. So they have it's a trickle down economy. It's a trickle down market system. So they eat off of that's why England wanted to leave, right? With Brexit, they wanted to leave because they had enough.
Yeah,
it's trickle down economics. Yes.
Yeah, o sea, imponen cosas que tú no estás quizás muy de acuerdo, pero Netherlands siempre tiene que, Holanda tiene que pagar siempre mucha vaina por los préstamos allí, que no sé qué. Y por ejemplo, pension age have been raised en países como Holanda, que ahora uno se pensiona cuando tiene 67, 68 años, yo no sé, en vez de 65, pero eso no lo cambian en el resto. Es como que we're paying their debts. Sí, de solidaridad, que no sé qué, pero coño, algún día se tiene que parar, Es como ir a un buffet, ¿verdad? Y todo el mundo coge, y tú estás cogiendo normal, y después tienes su plato así, y cuando estamos en la caja, dice, no, cada uno paga la una, y dice el que cogió de todo, pero tu solidaridad, macho, pero, nosotros somos amigos, estamos todos juntos, vamos a dividir las cuentas, más o menos así, muy de manera infantil explicado, pero es fácil, el sur completo de necesitar la Unión Europea, pero tú estás loco. Lo que no necesita la Unión Europea son los del norte.
No, I think yes, Paula, you're halfway right. I read this book, and it has to do with the banking system, right? The banking system, right? And how the EU, what happens is that you have a uniform banking system, which affects the way you do things. So I think, yes, by the way, those countries do need, the help from the northern countries. But at the same time, when you centralize everything, then you kind of take away from certain banking practices, and you're forced to do certain things that you don't want to do, like devalue your currency, pump money into it, which you're doing right now in the U.S. You pump money, cheap money into the system to further damage the whatever money system they have. So that's the problem with a central banking system. It's controlled by one entity and it controls all the other banks. So that's the only problem with it.
Yeah.
Once you centralize everything, we're here talking about DR and how we want to protect our sovereignty. We have a certain way of doing things, and we want to keep it that way. We don't want exterior forces to tell us how to do things, because it might not benefit us. It's going to benefit them, and that's the same thing that's happening with the EU.
You already have, Papa.
Yeah, the EU's been in existence for what, over 25 years. Yeah, over 25 years.
De los gringos, o sea, no vamos a olvidar eso. Papá,
it's similar to what happened here in the U.S. with NAFTA. NAFTA was probably the worst thing that ever happened to the United States, and the worst thing that happened to Mexico. So it's that globalized politics that have taken away a country's identity and a country's way of doing things. You have to answer to somebody when you're centralized.
Yeah, espérate. Blomo, ¿qué tú quieres decir dicho con eso? Porque tú said that we're losers.
I'm not loser, Blood Moon. I have a really, I'm pretty, educated.
No, don't worry. Don't pay attention to her. She's negative. She's negative.
I'm not worried.
I'm not worried. I'm just trying to tell her,
If I went on a date with Blood Moon, let's say, hey, let's go on a date. When I'm talking about, I think I'll fall asleep in a date. That's the type of person she is.
So the reason why I'm leaving New York, because I can't deal with the radical leftists anymore.
Yeah, you're saying Blood Moon, that's what she is.
I'm going to Florida. I'm gonna be in the campo in Florida now. Like I can't take the ideologies anymore in New York. They gone crazy.
Yeah, they're like very victim. It's crazy. Like we live in the most richest. I would say, I don't know. New York is considered the the business capital of the world, you could say, right? Well, London really is. London's financial. This is more advertising, Madison Avenue. And we have such a victim mentality in the richest place. It's like an oxymoron. It's like an oxymoron. We shouldn't be thinking like victims here. But yeah, it's permeated through this society, and that's why I think someone said, "Oh, Macho, are you talking to people in Washington Heights about your things?" Yes, I have, and it's penetrating to some, but most of them no. They love Black Lives Matter. They want LGBTQ. They don't care about crime. They hate the police. So they know nothing about structure and order. And stuff that builds civilization. They don't care because they're spoiled. They're spoiled, So, and that's why I'm saying too much freedom leads to slavery.
Now, if it comes to the ideal, the core, the initial idea of the Black Lives Matter, of course, everybody is for it, because you don't want Black people or any people in the world to be shot for being who you are, for looking the way you look. So, however, what became of the organization is different than, the core, what it stood for, or what people feel it still is, whilst it's not. In my opinion, what they do is capitalize on Black men's dead bodies. Mm-hmm. They capitalize on it. They make money for it. So it's good for them when, as an organization, when Black American men are shot by the police. They're like,
news. It makes some money. It makes a lot of money. Yes.
However, how it started, maybe, or the sentiment that we get, we're all for. Everybody needs to be for. I mean, like, of course, no one likes that kind of atrocities where people are just shot for. They're not even. It's just like you move and you're shot, unarmed. So their business model is to make money of dead Black American men.
Yeah.
Yeah, the black and white racial issue. They make money off each other.
That's the thing. And LGBTQ, whatever, I am pro-gay, lesbian, all the stuff, and you can identify how you want to, but your freedom cannot limit mine. Your rights cannot limit mine. Do you want to identify as Superman? Bien, tú eres un pecado. tírate al mar y respira en el agua para que tú veas cómo te mueres en 2 minutos. That's not my problem. Of course, you want to identify like that, but you're not going in a women's restroom. You're not going. Well,
Oh, you saw that? You saw that video? You saw that video in that spa about like how that man went into the and was naked and stuff with kids.
So,
and then the gay people would defend like, oh, what was so wrong about that? I'm like, what? Like, you crazy?
No esa cosa de depravada, vaina depravada, not that, because not even 1% of people are like that. There's a strong minority.
Pedophilia is next. They legalize gay stuff. They're gonna legalize
well, you know, me being in the healthcare industry, like that, you know, that less 1%, they do, like, I hate that the media and a lot of woke doctors are trying to say like these people are fine. I'm like, these people are not fine. They have a mental illness, you know. It's really is like, even if they like transition, they still deal with depression. They have a high rate of suicide, and I feel like the media is cuddling them. I'm like, no, you're fine, you're normal, like you're, you know, you don't need any medical rights. So yeah, so it's just like, you know, it's just really complicated when it comes to that that community, and it's like you can't say anything. Like if you go against it, you're gonna be censored. So
no me censura a nadie. Yo soy una mujer de convicciones. Me he encontrado en algunos líos, pero yo no me puedo callar. Yo no soy mujer de tibios. Yo soy frío calor. Yo estoy con Dios o con el diablo. Muchas veces más con el diablo que con Dios. Pero yo no soy mujer tibia, yo no soy de centro, yo soy de extremos. Y a mí nadie me censura.
Yeah, I think a lot of
y si no, me importa mi muerte.
Yeah, but like hear about...
But I know que nos están a cada rato de los lados las empresas ahora, pero yo no. Yo digo mi vaina como, yo me busco unos cuantos líos. ¿Tú te puedes creer yo en un team donde hasta el manager es pájaro, todo el mundo? Yo digo no. Si usted no menstrua, usted no es mujer. Punto. Todo el mundo, usted no menstrua, usted no es mujer, coño.
Facts over feelings, right? Facts over feelings.
No, porque hay mujeres que no pueden ver, esas son excepciones. Yo tampoco tengo hijos ni quiero, pero por eso yo no soy mujer. No, no, son dos sexos y ya.
Yeah, they're denying science, and that's what I'm seeing in the healthcare sector right now. Like they just, you can't even say anything at all. And like, you know, I have read medical records regarding this community, and it's just like we're making things worse for our society.
Necesita ayuda mental. Está mal, punto. Hay gente que nace depresivo con un gen depresivo y quedan depresivos toda su vida entera. Hay gente que nace mal del corazón. Esa gente tiene lo que, en fin, hay gente que tiene vaina innata, enfermedad. Hay gente que la vista la tiene mala, sufre del corazón, sufre del diablo, y esa gente sufre de yo no sé qué cosa, pero sufre de algo. Eso no está mal. Yo sí creo que algunos han nacido en un cuerpo equivocado y que se sienten así, pero hoy en día esa gran minoría que estamos viendo es loca que está. Estamos dejando gente loca suelta.
And the thing is that we're changing our whole society over this less percent. Our whole society is being changed because of this community. Like when you apply for an application for a job, they ask you, what are you? He, she, like, what do you think I am? Like, look at me. Like, you know, it's just crazy. Oh yeah, Paula is like getting late. Balloons worry about you. Yeah.
No, mañana
but you don't.
Okay.
Mañana es sábado. Yeah, Blood Moon. Don't worry. Worry about your Dominican card membership.
Oh my God.
Worry about that. Worry how you're gonna redeem yourself.
Estoy sola. Yo mañana y me levanto a las 11, algo así, sola, mi vida normal, al parque, mi día, que nadie me embroma. Y el domingo me voy por ahí. Voy a estar en otra ciudad, en fin. Princess, you know me. No, mi amor, yo con mi café fuerte. I don't play with that. My coffee is bunked. No,
yeah, my coffee is super strong. I love my strong. Yo soy cafetero. ¿Y qué clase de café tú tomas? ¿Qué clase de café?
Lavazza. Yo no tomo café dominicano, aquí no venden eso. Lavazza. Italiano.
Pero tú puedes pedirlo por internet.
Mi amor, pero el envío me sale 40 euros, como quien dice, dime. Cuando más una dominicana, ella trae siempre café Santo Domingo. Imagínate, eso da un 2, 3. No, yo bebo café Lavazza, que una marca italiana que es fuerte, de espresso, y no que se parece mucho al café dominicano, pero bien, es fuerte, con mi greca normal. So,
And
yeah.
look at Blood Moon. Blood Moon she's going to name calling. She called me a bitch now. How does this bitch see my comments? He blocked me. Yeah, I did block you. I blocked several other people who I deem, their membership has been revoked. Now calling me that, oh no. Now you definitely can never get a card, Blood Moon. Now it's your vende patria in my mind. I want nothing to do with you. I will block you again, actually. After this, I
No,
will block you again.
pasa. Yo creo que te están bromando, está gozando dándote de cuerda a ti, como yo se la doy a Brotep, te está dando ella cuerda a ti, macho.
But the thing is, and that's great, and that's great. But the Dominican card membership, this theory that I have, is just going to get bigger. I'm telling you right now. You heard it here first. People are going to start using my ideology soon enough. Because to be Dominican, like we spoke about it, we've been speaking about it in this stream, how to be Dominican now, we have to be more Dominican than ever before. We have a big problem in our country. This is not, my father's generation went through something else. The one before that went through something else. We're going through something else. So we have to be 100% all hands on deck. And Blood Moon is a person that I will not go to war with. I think she will cower away and run like a coward. And that's all I gotta say. And please leave the name calling. Please be civil. Leave the name calling away, please.
Blood Moon haría lo primero, agarra a sus muchachos y ¡bum! Y se va, como la mayoría de la gente haría. Eso es normal. Ay, ¿tú crees que la mayoría va a decir que ay, Tarzán? Yo sí, es el momento que sabe. Uno puede hablar mucho, pero yo sé que ella como madre agarra sus pollitos y se va. Gigi, ¿tú eres farmacéutica? Gigi se fue. Gigi
probably lost connection. She probably lost connection. Yeah, so just me and you, Paula. If anyone wants to come, you should drop the link to see if anyone else wants to come on. But
un momentico, man, unos 7 minutos. No, she's not part of Radical Latino crew para nada. Blood Moon es muy ella, muy independiente. Es muy.
Yeah, she's an independent. Loser. That's what she is. She has a loser mentality.
No está aquí para entretenerse, para curarse. Es para eso que está. Es para curarse. Una. Botar el estrés, su vaina para curarse. Y segunda, a ella le gusta escuchar a uno bla, pero no diga que ella sigue a uno que sí, o que no le gusta el otro. Ella da su opinión a todo el mundo. Ella no tiene vaca sagrada.
No, I know. She has no solution. She's a problem child.
Paula, I put it there what I do, okay, in the comments. Did you see that?
Okay, los comentarios.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the private chat.
Okay, está todo.
Yeah.
Vamos a hacer este maldito private chat ahora. Pues yo estoy más. Aquí está. Oh, pero qué bien.
Yeah.
Sí, qué bien.
You see, not all Dominicans are like that in New York. Yeah.
You go, girl. Wow.
Yeah, Gigi, you see people like, Gigi's an example. I love being around people like Gigi because they're go-getters, they're positive thinkers, they have solutions. Blood Moon, all she does is insult me down there. That does nothing. It does absolutely nothing. You can say whatever you want, but I hang around people that have solutions. That's all I'm going to say.
And this too right now.
You are going to make a difference. Eso es muy importante. Eso es
¿Qué, Paula?
Que tú vas a hacer una diferencia.
Gracias. Yeah. And I put also what I'm currently doing right now.
Sí, yo mismo. Bien.
Yeah. Gracias.
Me gusta, coño, eso. Me gusta esa vaina. Me gusta enterarme y ver ese tipo de cosas.
Yeah.
Y no tiene que mantener en opus.
Yeah. So, Paula, not everybody, like I know we look at the negative side of like Dominicans in New York and the tri-state area, but there's a lot of good Dominicans that are doing really well in New York.
La mayoría estamos haciendo algo como podemos. La mayoría, lo que pasa es que la mayoría está centrada. Yo encuentro que nosotros, de esa mayoría, somos una minoría en el sentido que nos sentamos aquí a hablar, bla. Por ejemplo, mi pareja es como, no, man, like, why? Él no está aquí. Mucha gente, como, en serio, tú estás perdiendo eso. El cerebro tuyo se te está yendo. ¿Y qué? Pues la pandemia, porque uno está aquí hablando disparate y vaina creyendo that we're going to make a difference and all that stuff. Y quizá alguien se inspira. Tenemos esa.
But it starts with dialogue. You don't build Rome in a day. But this is a great feeling that we're all Dominicans. We're all talking because we all care about progression. That's the bottom line. This is the first time. This is the first time I've ever entered, a place like this where other Dominicans, maybe even other Hispanics, are talking about fixing countries, fixing the community. Well, at least we're talking about it. So we're putting that good energy in the air, and it starts here, and it'll be something else in the future.
Yeah, I agree.
Pero repito, la mayoría, yo por lo menos lo que veo, estamos bien, estamos echando para adelante, pero la gran mayoría de este grupo también es como que muy discreta, muy normal, su trabajo, su casa, su estudio, y no está haciendo bulla. Lo que llama la atención aquí en Dominicana, en el aeropuerto, donde sea, con los chiperos, ese tipo de gente. Los tigres que andaban macho este fin de semana. Esos tigres son, ese tipo de personas son los que llaman más a la atención. Y lo que uno cree que todo está perdido, pero mentira. Una muy buena parte estamos echar para adelante y ver cómo hacemos.
Yeah, and the thing is, Paola, that people in the States think that Dominicans are that, right? The teoteo, the dembow, the reggaeton, like all that stuff. And then when they look at a Dominican like me or Macho or like you, they'd be like, wait, you're not really Dominican because you don't smoke hookah. Like they have this stereotype already, Yeah, and it's sad because it's kind of like I have to tell them like, oh, those are a small minority of Dominicans, and majority Dominicans are educated. And yes, we like to go out. Don't mind. Like I like to go out dancing merengue and salsa on the weekend. Yeah, but like I also have a responsibility as, to further my goals in life.
No, como yo digo, yo soy una barrial con educación pop y ya. Es una barrial, me gusta el teteo y vaina, me gusta mi música prosaica, como dicen allá. I enjoy all of that. Lo que pasa es que eso es el momento para enjoy, no mi vida normal.
Yeah, and one thing people have always told me, I know how to turn it on and I know how to turn it off.
Exactamente.
That you gotta learn how to turn it on and you gotta learn how to turn it off.
And also, that music too is low vibration too. Yeah, but smoke. Yeah. I don't know. It's just sometimes I can't listen to it too much.
It is. If you look at the frequency, it is for you to move your butt and move your low. But when you listen to a Juan Luis Guerra, you listen to a poet. Listening to a poet, so you start thinking, you start listening to the words.
Muy bien, ya, pero
we need new blood Paula? Now.
Yeah, we do. You're absolutely right. We need new blood. Yeah. That is true.
Yeah, we need new blood.
Pero todo tiene su momento, porque dime.
You know what I miss? I miss like old school pop rock, like Maná, Shakira. Remember Shakira used to do
Maná and Shakira used to be pop rap.
Shakira used to make good music back then.
Yeah, rock. Yeah, she was rock. She was like Alanis Morissette almost. Like
yeah.
On the wedding day, no, mira Gigi, un remark que te voy a hacer, de que no personal, el mundo es capitalista. Y tú sabes, si Shakira se hubiera quedado así, cuando la gente dice, ay, Miss fulana en el tiempo, Shakira fue inteligente, evolucionó, fue con el mercado. El mercado pide otra demanda, hay que darle otra oferta. Y por eso que Shakira tiene ya casi 30 años en el mercado. Lo mismo la de Yankee. Todo el mundo que ha evolucionado, todos esos artistas legendarios, no hacen la música del día primero. Los businesses que tienen mucho tiempo no ofrecen el mismo producto del mismo día. Han ido diversificando, están dando lo que el consumidor pide.
That's true.
Es mercado, demanda y oferta. They meet here, en el equilibrio. Ya. O sea, si Shakira se hubiera quedado en me hubiera llevado al diablo. So, es eso, pero sí, esa música a veces yo la escucho. ¿Cuándo? Mentira, eso como, no sé, al principio del año, hasta Gloria Trevi estaba escuchando yo.
I don't like Gloria Trevi.
You see Gloria Trevi's movie? You saw a movie on Netflix about Gloria Trevi?
Ah, no, ya.
No,
It's really good. It's really good.
Mira,
She lived a crazy life.
esta canción, Brincan los correos, para que tú veas, que tú vas así, Brincan los correos. Yo pensé que era una canción de niño. Escucha Gloria Trevi ahora como adulta para que tú veas cómo arruinable.
Okay.
Estas lyrics eran deep. Una de es que me siento tan sola. Que no preñala. Una vez que se dice, y yo escuchaba esta canción con la niña y me la sé de memoria, porque no se sabe de memoria todavía. Eso sí que viene en el inconsciente, creo yo. Y como adulta, tú te vas a quedar como que asombrada de tan deep que eran realmente estas canciones. My opinion on Chivo. Chivo un muchacho que realmente yo no le pongo atención porque ese niño, no sé si con la vida eso, él realmente tiene un problema emocional, mental, algo. Chivo no está bien de la cabeza. Yo creo que hay que verlo. Yo creo que no nos podemos hacer los estúpidos. Y por eso a mí, cualquier cosa que diga Chivo, yo no le presto atención. Para mí es un niño, una persona con problemas que lo está diciendo. Yo le daría atención si fuera, por ejemplo, Gigi, una gente que yo escucho normal y que se ve que es una persona así. O sea, lo que diga Chivo. El chico necesita mucha atención, mucho cariño, está en República Dominicana y no sé, pero hay un problema. Ya. Ya. Y ese, no, ya, eso. No. Pues que bueno, señores, ya son las 3 de la mañana.
Yes.
Las 6 a las 9.
No, Paula, you know, I love talking to you. You offer a different perspective, especially from Europe. So, and I love your honesty. You know, you don't pull back. And, you know, anytime you have a stream, I'm always available for you. You know how to contact me. And a great dialogue today. We talked about the LGBT thing. I think we're all in agreement that has no place in our society. It's totally a first world problem that comes from America. We have enough to deal with. We also talk about buying land in the DR, and we also talk about self-improvement, how we all as individuals have to improve in life, push ahead, and think positive.
Amén, thank you. Amén, amén. Gracias, Mancho, por joining the stream, por siempre supporting me y nada. Y Ed, ay, Dios mío, se me está olvidando el idioma. En fin, aportar. Gigi.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Gigi, you gotta mute. You gotta mute.
Oh, sorry.
Aportar aquí en el live, de verdad que de manera respetuosa, siempre ahí apoyando a mí y a otras rutas, los de Holanda, a todos los dominicanos.
Yes, I'm actually gonna do a Euro trip next year, Paula, and I would love to meet face to face with you. You know, if I go to Holland and stuff like that. I definitely would love to visit Dominican communities or the Hispanic communities in Europe to get a first-hand look how things are done over there.
En España, Italia, por aquí en Bélgica y Holanda, pero en Bélgica estamos como que regados, así, pero se encuentran donde haya bachata y vaina de eso, se encuentra todo el mundo.
No, claro que sí. So, Paula, que tenga buena noche. Gigi, you too, have a great night. And Dios, Patria y Libertad. The Bible is on the Dominican flag. The only flag with a Bible on it. So we are special. If you believe you are special, you'll do special things. All right? Good night.
Thank you. And Paola, thank you for letting me be on your live stream. And I just wanted to say there's very few Dominicans and Hispanics that have your point of view. And it's refreshing to hear someone that's blunt, that's not radical leftist on YouTube. So it's like I could be like, oh my God, there's someone like me. Like I'm not crazy the way I'm thinking. So yeah, you're very educated, and I like how you're blunt. You just tell it straight to the point, and I will definitely be watching more of your live streams.
Okay, thank you for supporting. Yo no sabía que tú habías visto o que conocías el canal. Pensaba que era solamente alguna persona, pero no, thank you. Yo ya te había escuchado, era cuántas veces algo, snippets, en el canal de Macho o de Dominican Renaissance. Cuando yo escuché tu voz, pero yo conozco esa voz ahí, sí. No, gracias por tus palabras, por el support del channel y todo eso. Y no, sí, no, yo soy muy yo. Obviamente que en el trabajo depende el nivel, uno se comporta, ¿tú sabes? Pero no, es diferente. No, yo me cosa digo cómo estoy, cómo pienso, y sí, yo soy muy blunt, no soy tibia, soy fría o soy vaina. I don't follow things. Yo tengo mi propio camino. Yo no sigo corrientes. A mí nunca me gusta eso. Yo observo, yo veo aquí pick and choose, yo no me vaina de nadie, yo no sigo a nadie. Y mira, de verdad que muy bien, te felicito con lo que tú estás haciendo, de verdad.
Gracias.
Me llena de orgullo. Y para terminar lo que ahorita no terminé, I think that we Dominicans are making our own stereotypes sometimes. Cuando uno sale del país, and we like to believe that.
Yeah.
O sea, con todo el disparate que le juzga, que no sé qué, como que uno lo crea y uno se lo cree. Cuando te dicen, a mi mamá, ay, dominicana mismo, y después, no parece dominicana así tan tranquila. Mi mamá no baila ni escuelita.
Wow.
O sea, entonces todos los dominicanos bailan, o todos los dominicanos tienen que ser bullosos y todo eso. O sea, yo soy a lo que sea, pero mi mamá es muy tranquila, por ejemplo. Es como que si todo el mundo es igual, el mismo molde.
No.
Entonces uno mismo se crece stereotypes. Digo, pero ¿quién te dijo así tal cosa? Porque mi mamá son 8 y las 8 son diferentes. So it's like learning about our own identity. Cuando nuestra vaina común, pues somos organizados, ¿no? Pero que we make stereotypes, entonces como que entonces, ¿qué es lo que somos entonces? Cuando a ti te dicen, ¿qué? Que tú eres tal cosa, tú eres dominicano, entonces ¿qué es lo que somos? Tú eres la primera generación para estar en una bodega o limpiando, hacer cualquier trabajo que es, o sea, que dignifica, pero que otra generación, tú eres la primera generación. Obviamente que tú tienes que ser un step further que tus padres.
Sí. Yeah.
So,
we're gonna be fine.
Yeah. Así que nada.
Gracias,
que pasen buenas noches y thank you for joining y aportar, de verdad que sí, que lo aprecié y lo disfruté mucho y ahí vamos a hacer más streams.
Yes.
Un fuerte abrazo de mando. Cuídate. Bye. Gracias a todo el mundo que estuvo ahí, que apoyó como siempre. Cuatro pilares como siempre y un beso. Blood Moon. Diablo, pobrecito macho. Blood Moon era fuerte. Un beso a todo el mundo que estuvo ahí. G, Felix Legacy, Morena, Flor de Oro, Cristina, Blood Moon. Un beso a todos. Virtual Hug. Y a todos los que nos reportaron también. Thank you very much. Y que pasen una muy bella noche. Ahí. Poniendo neuronas. Facts over feelings. Cristina. Viva Bella Cristina. Boom.